What? Oh, fuck. Just like a Russian guy? Where's the deep dives? Where's the deep dives? Nah. Because that's next week. Wait, the game's coming out in 7 days, right? Let me just check here. Oh, do I need to get PathofExile2.com or something or what? PathofExile. Seven days, 23 hours. Wait, when the fuck? Oh, it's more than a week away, eh? Why deep dive? You can do the same build, honest? Well, because the fucking entire skill tree's changed, you dumbass bitch. You know, oh, bro, we're going on bleed EQ. Wait, EQ's in PV2, right? I forget. I think I saw a nice looking EQ in the fucking trailer. That's what I want to watch. Oh, my game design. Fucking YouTube, dude. Path. Exile 2. Content reveal. Official trailer. I think we watched it on the main thing, right? So I basically want to watch this, except I'm going to be pausing the whole way through, just making it complete cancer and doing a deep dive.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers from Grinding Gear Games.
I want to look at the patch notes. Oh, bro, we're going to be looking at the patch notes, bro. We're going to look at the patch notes.
And welcome to GGG Live.
I'm not watching the whole thing.
Today we're going to show you an exclusive reveal of what's coming next for Path of Exile 2. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream, so you'll be able to claim your Sun Priest's Incineration rare finisher effect by following the instructions below.
They're gone.
Now with that out of the way, let's get started. It's time to give you a teaser of what's coming in Path of Exile 2, the Third Edict.
I'll watch it one time without pausing, and then okay, one time, and then I'm gonna have to go back probably.
Karui! I have called you here to save our people, to save our way. Over the ages, we have known pain like no other, but we endured. And we became mighty.
That's sick. Do you reckon moldy people are gonna try soup? GG.
Outsiders dishonor our shores, and we have stood by, doing nothing. Hear my voice, ancestors. Show us your strength. Show us the true way.
Now, Brox must think this is sick, right? I think it would cover.
Understand.
Shit. What is that water, bro? I fucking hate that boss. I hate it. What is that?
The true Makura Makoi will rise.
Bro, that one change, by the way, that one change, sprinting, new trade system. I didn't even see that, by the way. I saw like trade. I was like, what? And I didn't even realize when I saw that happen come up during the trailer. I didn't even click. It was delayed for me. Now that one change to molten throw. You know the melee attack? That's not a melee attack that I like to play. That's like my favorite attack in the game. But I would constantly complain like, fuck me, why does your character walk forward with the attack? It pisses me off so. You remember me complaining about that? I fucking love this ability, but like my guy keeps walking forward, it pisses me off. You guys remember that? I would rage. It would just piss because it constantly happened. And I would just bitch about that incessantly. And they said they removed that. Honestly, there's not too much to pause there. Not too much to pause. That's a sick trailer, though. It is a sick trailer. No doubt. Like, it's not GC's build.
Now, as you can see, there's a lot going on, and we have a lot to reveal today. We'll start by going over Act 4. Interlude.
Yep.
Gem system.
Yep. Yeah. Skin pass all the shit.
Then it's time to talk
4K?
about items,
Fuck,
crafting,
4K,
and
bro.
oh yeah, trade. That's going to be a big one. We'll then go over our new supporter packs and a selfish note. When the third edict launches on the 29th.
Okay, free weekend. Free weekend, boys. Deep dive. Deep dive. They've been DDoSed in their own servers, right? They've been DDoSed in their own servers. Okay. EU's pretty much fucked constantly 24/7. People were like, one weeb from my chat was able to DDoS the entire NZ server by himself as a meme. Okay. Like a single weeb, just one. Like he just like, hey, I'm just gonna DDoS, and it was not. It turned out to not be a meme, by the way. It was like legit an unbound request. He was like, yeah, like dude, it was just like showing you that you do it. I wasn't actually trying to be malicious, but like I just wanted to show you that it was real and true. Yeah. It was just a single weeb. It was just DDoSing the whole of the Auckland service. One guy. Karma for you laughing at us. Well, it's stupid as hell. That's what it is. It's dumb as fuck. I like weeds, but they're too powerful. So do we reckon this? I mean, I like the idea of a free weekend. I mean, I like the idea of Path of Exile 2 just being free, just like the whole time, right? 24/7. But they are doing like a you pay to be a beta tester thing right now, which is kind of good because it keeps all the normies out while we get the game tuned up, get it moist as fuck for the actual proper release of the game. Free weekend should be the week after launch, not the same day, says Moobity. But don't you want it to be as hype as possible? I feel like that's like lame. I feel like if you're gonna do a free weekend, do it at the most opportune time to play, like to have the most fun. Don't like cuck everyone out and be like, pay piggies only. I don't agree. I get you're like, I want to play and I don't want to have laggy servers, but at the same time, you should look at it like a community. Do you want new players to play the game that had the best possible experience? Well then, you shouldn't have some pay to win bullshit. Do the free weekend for everyone on the launch. Raw dog that shit. Get everyone's foot. Dude, you want them. You want the free-to-play guys. Chat, the more people that play PoE, the better your economy is, the more well the company does, and the more they invest into the game, and just all around, it's just better. Like, you don't want a game that's dying or dead. Like, you always want your game you're playing, chat, to be doing this. But you just sort of growth. It doesn't need to be crazy growth, just some amount of growth. If it's like this, that's scary. If it's going like this, guess what? You find a new game ASAP because that's just going to be dead in no time, right? You need a game that's so you want the free weekend to go well, and you want the free players to pop up a pirate stream. I'm just saying, it's true. You don't want to be playing a dying game. You want to be playing a game that's popping off. Now, there is obviously there's market saturation, and there's a finite amount of people who possibly can play a game, and obviously you can't always permanently grow. It is what it is, but it's one of those things where a steady incremental growth is, dude, there's tons of fucking babies being born, tons of new people who haven't played PoE who can try it out. My take is that there's always server issues, and I don't think this is going to be that crazy. I really don't think it's going to be that crazy. I think most people who want to play PoE just have bought it anyway, and I don't think it's going to be that nuts. I don't think we're going to see insane server issues like we have. I think, if anything, it's going to be the same, like EU guys just constantly complaining about effing, because that's just how it happens in EU, or it's going to be better because of the changes. So either the servers are going to be shit or better. Oh, god damn it. I've got no disk space. Again, what's going on here? Gary! Wait, I'll do it myself. 16. What are we? 8, 9, 7. What month are we in, chat? What was this? The 8th month, 7th month? Let's delete all this shit. Who cares? Whatever, bro. I don't want my computer to crash because I got no fucking space there. PV2, there we go. Dude, a terabyte, chat. I'm deleting a terabyte of shit right now. Oh my god. More than a terabyte. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Okay, there we go.
We'll be having a free weekend for
Send this to Mark. Wait, what is this? What are we looking at here? Wait, which one? 0.30. Wait, do I need to press F5 to see it or something? I don't see whatever. Oh, there we go. There we go. Dude, what the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is...
Path of Exile 2. That's right, Path of Exile 2 will be free for the first time without requiring an early access key. The free weekend will end on September the 1st, so you'll have plenty of time to give the game a try. Alright, let's get started with Act 4. The story continues from the end of Act 3. Doryani has agreed to help you find an ancient weapon that can be used against corruption, the instrument of the Third Edict. The weapon was broken in ages past, but he believes that the pieces may be found in the Karui archipelago,
what is that,
the home of the Karui tribes. You will need to journey to Kingsmarch, hire a ship, and set sail.
Dude, I was batting out for the zone, by the way.
When you open the map, you can choose to sail anywhere you like. Act 4 is completely non-linear, and you can visit the islands in any order you choose.
Island.
Will you visit the...
Oh my god, bro. Dude, so this is what I bought these for Abby. This is Pohutukawa. This is classic NZ. So it's the Queen of the Maori. I think what they call it, the Queen of the Maoris, the Queen of the Maori Queen or something. Also known as New Zealand Christmas tree. Wait, no, what's the fucking actual name? But what's the actual fucking? What's the Maori definition of it, dude? Wait, Queen. Oh my god, what the fuck? Wait, what am I thinking? Wait, it's Pohutukawa? Not Pohutukawa. Wait, what the fuck? Am I not even fucking looking at the right thing to close this shit down? Bro, I'm seeing this shit. Wait, what am I thinking? Wait, where's Verve Light at? Queen Maori tree. No, that's not it. The Maori princess. That's what they call it, bro. Not queen. I got the wrong one. The Maori princess, which is why isn't we not getting that, dude?
EPOCH.
The Mitriosidis Maori princess. It's just Pohutukawa. Why the fuck is that not in the wiki, bro? Why is that not in the wiki? It's such a beautiful tree. This is an NZ tree, okay, guys? It's an NZ tree. Anyway, it's an NZ tree, and seeing like the environment with like NZ trees, NZ culture, NZ, even the flax, even the ferns. Like, look at it.
Pristine beaches of Whakapanu Island. The Karui whisper of a curse that afflicts...
It's like this is just me going down to the beach.
All who travel...
Minus the giant, like, man-eating crabs or whatever. Like, it's the flora. It's like, oh, it's just, I got chills, bro. I got chills.
There. Perhaps it's related to the weapon you seek.
Chills.
Or maybe you will visit the volcanic shores of the Isle of Quin. The Quin have been more restless recently.
Like, I have not seen a Pohutukawa in any game I've played ever. Okay? Like, name one game that has a Pohutukawa in it. I'm just saying. Name one. Like, what game does any game have a Pohutukawa tree in it? Just games do feature games can do feature Pohutukawa trees, though they are not a common element in most global titles. Which ones? What do you mean? What the fuck? You just making this up? Where? What game's in, Mr. AI? Pikmin 4? Okay, let's see the Pohutukawa tree. Let's see it, bro. Let's see Pikmin 4. Let's see the Pohutukawa. Let's see it. Where's the Pohutukawa tree? I'm not seeing the Dude, the AI is fucking hallucinating. That is not, that's a cherry blossom. It's not a fucking Pohutukawa, you fucking lying ass little AI bitch.
Mining for sulfite and driven by some dark force. Perhaps you will choose to consult with one of the local Karui tribes.
Oh, dude, these ferns, bro. Oh my god.
Their ancient wisdom could hold clues to finding the Third Edict. No matter where you choose to go,
It's
you
so
will
cool.
fight dangerous beasts,
It's so cool.
find fabulous treasures,
Dead ass, bro. Dead ass.
and
Guys,
battle incredible bosses.
You take... Okay, so all you NA motherfuckers, right? Okay, you sit there going like, man, you're just batting out of our phones, bro. Okay, all your fucking movies and shit, you're watching like Spider-Man or whatever, and it's like in New York, and you live in New York, and you're like an American, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, you're watching some fucking thing, the movie's based in Colorado, you live in, you take that for granted. All the environment, it's like, this is relatable. Okay, I never relate to this. I'm like, man, America's fucking weird. Look at this weird-ass city with these huge-ass buildings and shit. Totally weird. Okay, so what I'm saying is you take that for granted, all you Americans, that all the media and all the games you consume are based in these places. And EU cucks as well. Don't even get me started. Half all you EU guys, they also got the same. You got like, you know, if you're from UK, you can play like Kingdom Come. And like, yeah, the cunt's like, oh, fancy a cup of tea. Fucking London or what, you know, okay, yeah, you guys have got where's the NZ games? Where's the NZ games? They don't, now here we have one. And that's why I get to bat out at seeing my environment, okay, that I was raised in and I live in, okay? Seeing trees that are familiar to me, okay? I like it. It's cool, so I get to bat out at that. You can't take that away from me, bro. The monkey people.
Yama sees your soul.
Okay.
There are 8 islands to discover,
Looks
each
sick.
teeming with its own flora and fauna. Act 4 contains over 100 new monster types, 16 new areas,
Dude, that place looks
12
sick.
new bosses, and plenty of other interesting encounters.
Bro, what is this? I gotta pause here for a second. Wait, what are we looking at? What, interesting? What are we looking at?
12 new
What are
bosses,
we looking at?
and plenty of other interesting.
Holy shit. Double fucking nip, boy. So she's a mermaid demon, Merveil. Bro, Merveil 2.0 is looking fucking bussin', bruv. She's looking fucking bussin'. Some good-ass graphics.
Encounters.
Holy shit.
There's a huge amount to show, but we're not going to spoil too much here. We want to give you a chance to discover it all for yourself.
God damn.
What happens after Act 4? Well, until now you had to repeat the entire campaign again before you could face the endgame. But after adding Act 4, the game is far too long to make you do that. We needed something else to do in between the end of Act 4 and the endgame. So what else could we do? Add 3 new mini-acts, of course, and we're calling them the Interludes. The Interludes are a set of 3 temporary side stories that will be included in the game until Act 5 is released, that will take you to level 65 where the endgame can begin. The first interlude sends you on a journey back to Ogham. Renly has been leading the efforts to rebuild Ogham Village after the defeat of Count Geonor, but there's a new danger afoot. The nearby town of Holton is surrounded by an impenetrable darkness, and each night their corrupted townfolk emerge to raid the local farmlands.
Wait, these are for sure just going to be side quests, right?
You'll discover new
It's
areas,
just going to be like random little side quests with no giga lore in it, bruv. Like, they're going to be like, it's just going to be like, hey, little side quests. Maybe they record a few dialogue lines to like, oh, I need your help to do this thing, blah, blah, blah. Boom. Put a little boss in there, whatever. Yeah, that's what it is. Filler. Like little side quest filler with the extra passing point. I think it's good, though. It's better than redoing everything, for sure.
and new bosses.
That's not a new boss.
You'll need to find your way through
That's
the
not a new
darkness, uncover the source of corruption,
That's sick. Look at the animation, bro.
Soon you will serve our master.
and defeat it.
Yes, I shall dance with their corpse.
And that's just the first interlude. The second interlude will have you return to the Vasteri Desert, where Asala has been given a sacred duty.
See, none of this is wasted, right? Because obviously they're using assets and stuff that they've been developing for the other acts, but then they also can develop new assets for the interludes, and it's like they can just use that in endgame, and they can use that in the acts that they're designing currently, right? So it's like it's easy W, just easy, like just create content, slap it in, boom.
When the skies align, the
Implement it.
gifting of water requires a chosen Sekima to meet with the Selkari, guardians of the sacred water, but they're nowhere to be found. You will need to track down the Selkari.
Are they
Find
going to
the-
fix this act, though? Like, because right now, isn't it bugged? Like, it's early access, right? Where you go onto the cart or whatever, and it's like, you're supposed to be able to pick 2 ways, but then I always go to a zone, and then it's like, you cannot go this way. And then you get stuck. And then I'm wondering, where the fuck do I go? Do you guys get this? Do you guys get this? Because I get this every time. I get stuck on the cart, and I don't know where the fuck to go. And then I'm like, where am I at right now? And then I talk to the woman, click on the map on the table, and eventually I figure it out. But I feel like that's because you're supposed to be able to go away, but right now it's not in. Is it in now? Or is that just... It's not in yet, right? You're supposed to be able to go 2 ways. Correct? It's linear for me. Bro, I remember they advertised this as like, this act is a dynamic act. You can pick to go wherever you want to go, and you can hop on the cart and go this way or that way and do all this stuff. But it always, like, I always try to go away, and she's always like, we cannot go this way. And then you have to just leave. Yeah, in Act 4. I'm not tripping, right? It's reversed. I'm hoping that's not the case, because I always get lost in that act. Pisses me off. Maybe I'm cooked.
Those responsible for disrupting the gifting. Fight even more new bosses. Discover the secrets of the ancient ritual. Discover new locations.
Do you reckon they're going to have bugged bosses that is going to one-shot hardcore characters? Like that stupid fucking big Colossus guy that was bugged for like fucking half the game's existence? That just like fucking obliterate you from full HP, doesn't matter, just does like 999999999 damage. I hope so. I hope not, because that shit pissed me off so much. That Colossus was so lame. It was bugged for so... I don't even know if it's fixed. I'm not even sure that it's fixed. Currently, even. Because I know they said they fixed it, and then it wasn't fixed. And then they said they fixed it, it wasn't fixed. The monkey is just OP. He's not bugged. The monkey's just OP. Abyssal going to empower one-shots. Yeah, the Abyss mob sounds sus as fuck.
And ultimately help Asala carry out her sacred duty. Now for Interlude 3. As Royal Thaumaturge of the Vaal, Doryani had plans within plans to save his people from the cataclysm perpetuated by Atzeri's lust for power. One such plan involved sealing a group of willing Vaal deep in a great mountain vault near the home of the Asmeri, deep enough to survive the cataclysm. Even though thousands of years have passed, he believes that their descendants may still live, and may be key to defeating the beast.
They're all crazy.
The journey up the mountain will be dangerous. New foes stand in your way.
Dude, I'm be honest. I don't know what to say because I've just been playing like last Epoch, or maybe it's Ass. I've been playing Ass. I've been playing a lot of Ass. Like when you see an animation like that where that boss comes out and does that fucking mechanic, bro.
New foes stand in your way.
Fuck, he looks okay. That ball is a little, but it looks fucking sick.
And the further up the mountain you venture, the colder it will become.
Oh, it looks sick, eh?
Explore caves of ice and enter the vault itself. Who can say what you will find within? The interludes are 6 to 7 areas each and generally include 4 boss fights as well. When you put that together with Act 4, that adds up to 35 new areas in the campaign and 24 new bosses.
It's not a new... Stop saying new boss and showing the fucking old boss. Okay, not Mark, Jonathan. Okay, Jonathan, he's saying new... He's like, every time he says new boss, they show a boss that's from Expedition. Every time he said that, like both times.
Making clear that the interludes are temporary. When Act 5 and 6 are added, the interludes will be going away. These are side stories after all, but don't worry, the bosses and areas that make up the interlude are all part of the endgame. We're not just going to throw them away. And with that, we don't need cruel difficulty anymore. We do know that it was a pretty big chore to have to play through the campaign multiple times on each character, and this was a huge reason that the campaign could feel like a bit of a slog when playing through again. But we do also have another new feature to address that particular concern as well. So let's talk about sprinting. In 030, when you hold down the dodge roll button, your character will go into a sprint after they finish the roll. This is available on all character classes, and there's no limitation on...
So you roll, so you don't have to keep on space, right? It's just get extended press and then you're good. You go, and then you're good. You gotta keep on it. No, you gotta keep, do you have to hold it? I don't know if you do have to keep holding it. I don't know if you do. You guys are, oh, look at these Danny Kuglers, bro. All like, look at these assumption Andys. It like, I don't know about that. I don't know that. He said you break out the skill.
How long you can sprint for. The primary purpose of this feature is to make navigating areas faster when out of combat. Because of that, if you do take a hit while sprinting, you'll fall to the ground. The best idea is to use a skill when you see monsters. That'll break you out of the sprint so you can engage with no danger. If you do need to run away from monsters, just hold spacebar. You won't be vulnerable during the roll, and you're faster while sprinting than basically any monster in the game, allowing you to retreat from combat.
But you remember when he like talked about this whole deep dive on like you can't be faster than the monsters, you have to make it so monsters can catch you, otherwise it's like lame because there's no like threat or like no oppression. You know, remember that was that whole thing? It was that whole, but yeah, it's one of those things where like, hey, this to me was like get compromise, get like ultra compromise. But I mean, clearly he's tried it out, and maybe it's like feels a lot better. And you think is you can still like do like, I'm not stuck in here, you're stuck in here with me. You can do like boss fights where you lock the player in the room and then you let the boss fist the player's ass, right? You don't, it's not like everything needs to have you. If you want to run away, they can run away, and they can make mobs that are gotcha mechanics, right? Like you get hit by a stun, boom, you're dead. You get hit by like a detonate explosion, fucking, you're dead. They're gonna have mechanics like that, right? So you don't actually need to like, you don't need to make every monster just way too fast and chase the players down. You say the camera does, well, I'm saying it's a compromise, right? It's a massive. I think this is clearly a large compromise. Like clearly they had a vision and they were trying it. It didn't work out, and they're like, actually, you know what? Fuck it. Well, maybe not even a compromise. It could just be a change of mind on their logic after testing it and playing the game more. But yeah, Jonathan did defend this quite a lot. If you didn't watch the interviews, he's pretty anti this. He like wanted monsters to be able to chase the player down, which I respected. I was like, yeah, okay, fair enough. It just felt stupid when the monsters were like 5 times as fast as the player or something.
Sprint is a pretty significant change to PoE 2's gameplay. But what I like most about it is that we can accelerate the pace of the game for those who want that without having to compromise on PoE 2's more visceral combat systems. Okay, so that's the new extensions to the campaign, but there's a whole giant league to play through as well. I'll leave that to Mark to talk about later. And that's because what I want to talk about now is the new stuff for your characters. And probably one of the biggest new systems here is with the support gems. Now, support gems are one of the most interesting elements to creating a build. They're what enables so many interesting mechanics and different ways to play. But PoE 2's support gem system has just never been quite right. One of the major issues is the limitation of only having one support gem of each type on your character. We didn't want builds to just become using the same 5 most powerful supports in every skill. The problem with this design, though, is that it's actually working against using multiple skills supports in every skill.
Potent exposure, bro. Potent exposure. 20% potency, bro, of effective exposure. Damn.
Skill. The problem with this design, though, is that it's actually working against using multiple skills in your build. If you can only use each support gem on one skill, it means that you're encouraged to go all in on that one ability. And we want to encourage you to combo your abilities, something needed to change. So with that in mind, we've removed the restriction of having one of each support gem per character. You can now use as many copies as you like. This should
I remember this was super lame for my character. My crossbow cut, like it would just like, it didn't make sense to use other, like I just ran out of support gems to link to my other skills that were any good, and it just felt like you had to just full send one thing because there wasn't enough shit for the other. There was you were like gem starved. You were gem starved, bro. On my bleed crossbow build, yeah.
Drastically increase the amount of possible builds and increase the amount of skill diversity.
So then I had to like shit clear or shit single target. It wasn't like one of the other.
There are a lot of potential builds that suffered from the previous restriction. For example, a poison build previously couldn't add poison to more than one skill. They couldn't use stacking poison on more than one skill either. This severely limited your ability to combo with anything outside of the specifically designed poison archetype, but now you can. Many utility skills previously couldn't scale to endgame, because the supports that would make them scale were more useful to use in other skills. You would never speed up killing Palm with martial tempo, when you would much rather use it on your primary skill instead. There are more examples like this all over the place. In addition to that, though, we thought there wasn't enough feeling of progression in the supports as you went through the game. There were only
how are you feeling about the tier system? How are you feeling about the tier system? Because I remember I bitching about this a lot. Like I just like I remember like it was kind of cool leveling your supports up, getting quality on them, flipping them around, you know, leveling them up again. You know, it felt good. You think it's good? I mean, I'm like thinking to myself, okay, so it's like a different version of gem leveling, but not quite gem leveling. Interesting. I mean, I'm not like instantly sold on it, And then you kind of get like these almost pseudo awakened gems where it's like, oh, it's super high tier and it gets actually a different effect and it functions differently. Where it's like, oh, it's kind of like awakened gems, but not. It's like somewhere between like a gem level and an awakened gem where, you know, you get to the high tier and then it changes the functionality and maybe it could be good or bad. It's worse leveling even more bloat. It does sound like confusing, right? It does sound confusing in terms of, you know, because you've got like this tier, this tier, this tier. But there's only going to be 2 tiers that you care about, right? There'll be the alt qual, like giga high rank one, which does something different. And then there'll be the max tier of the non-alt qual. And all the lower ones are just like leveling fodder that you'll just loot filter all the other lower ones out anyway. You'll use them just to level up, and then after that, boom, you'll be fucking full sending, and they'll be only the 2. You'll be basically you've got a non-awakened and awakened, although it won't be as clearly obvious as to which one's better.
Only 3 tiers of supports, and many of the most important ones were given out at tier 1. Also, there were no strict upgrades, meaning that upgrading supports when you ran out of sockets required quite a lot of thinking. In order to solve these issues, we now also have multiple levels of many supports as you go through the game. For example, double barrel support gives you an extra bolt, but at the cost of 30% less reload speed. At tier 2, the penalty gets lowered to 20%. But then at tier 3, the support gem gets something new. It now reloads automatically when you heavy stun an enemy. In some cases, the highest tiers might work a little differently, and you'll have to decide
It's 20% cast speed, 15% cast speed.
if you like the upgrade or not, depending on your build. For example, rapid casting. The first couple of levels gives 15, then 20% increased cast speed. But then at tier 3, it changes to a new approach. For each different spell you cast in the last 8 seconds, you get 10% increased cast speed, which could be a pretty big bonus if you use a lot of different spells. So that's pretty good for upgrades through the campaign, but we wanted to add a little more spice to the endgame for supports too. And that's where our new system, Lineage supports, comes in. You can think of these like unique items, but for supports. There are supports that are only available at endgame, but they're much more powerful. Like Ratha's Assault. It's
supported cross-range skills cannot reload. Supported skills load 3 bolts when you dodge. Recorded skills load 3 additional bolts. Damn.
Upgraded version of double barrel that reloads your skill as you dodge roll, as well as increasing the number of bolts it can hold. But it does mean that it's the only way you can reload the skill now. Now, unlike regular supports, you can't find these through the uncut support gem.
Echo 2 times.
Just like unique items, many of these can be found from specific bosses.
I mean, that sounds pretty strong. Echo. Spells that create an area around you or attack a location. Supported skills spells echo twice, causing their effects to happen again after a short delay. But supported skills are given a short cooldown. Cannot be supported by channeling skills, remote skills, skills which already have a cooldown, or skills which are triggered. Oh. 5-second cooldown. So it makes your ability have a 5-second cooldown, but then it basically goes the time you press it plus 2 additional times. Twice, echo twice, and full damage. But then you lose a multiplier slot. So, I mean, it seems pretty strong for like some things, right? Like 1 button press, boo boo boo. You know.
And there's a ton in the regular drop pool too.
Scion's Temper. Gain 1 wild shard. Okay, so wait. Someone supports projectile spell. Supported spells have an increasingly higher chance to fire many additional projectiles in a circle, resetting when they do. 1 wild shard on casting supported spells. Supported skills have a 20% chance to fire 8 additional projectiles in a circle per wild shard. All wild shards are lost when supported skills are fired. So, okay. So it like ramps up and it does that.
Some of them are...
It's kind of cool. That's pretty sick. It's a pretty sick one. It's a pretty cool one. That's a pretty neat one. It's pretty fun. I like that. Pretty cool. Pretty interesting. Sounds abusable, though. Definitely sounds like there's probably a way to break it. Like what happens when you have an ability which overrides that wild shard logic, right? And then you can just get to like barrage. Like for example, if you could somehow barrage those extra projectiles like in one direction, I mean, what happens then? You know, or like you make it come back to you afterwards, and they all shotgun, some weird shit like that. It seems to be. I bet. Hey, fair enough though. Log in. Supports any skill which has levels, increasing the level and quality while reducing the cost and reservation. +1 supported skill does 10% quality supported skills. 90% reservation multiplier. This one seems pretty potent, doesn't it, chat? That one seems very potent, especially, wait, is it any skill? Supports any skill which has levels. Wait a minute. How the fuck do auras work on PoE2 again? They're like meta gems or something, right? So it's not a skill. Or is it? Like, could this go into your aura? Could this slap into your aura? Oop. I don't remember. Dude, I've not played PoE in a long time. They use Spirit. Cost and reservation multiplier. It says cost and reservation. It doesn't specify. That could be life. That could be mana. That could be spirit. It could be anything. Aura, spirit cost. Yeah, I mean, yeah. This looks completely broken if it works with auras. Let's not get it twisted. And it's probably very broken with some gem. It's like Ashes, right? This is going to be completely best out the wazoo for some abilities. Some abilities have like quality that just breaks the fucking game. So you get like an ability like that, and then with this gem, I mean, fucking hell. It's probably going to be super rare though. And yeah, you're never going to get it.
Rare? Others fairly common.
Where we got Adrian's Medal. Supports crossbow skills, granting a chance to load a bolt into all crossbow ammunition on kill with a supported skill. 35% chance to load a bolt into crossbow skills, dealing killing blow with a supported skill. I mean, that sounds good for farming, like clearing ability.
Some of them are build defining.
We got totems created by supported skills have 50% more maximum life. Totems created by supported skills trigger tower woes minions on death. Supported skills create totems, causing those totems to have more life. Totems spawned by supported skills explode on death, dealing physical damage based on their life. What?
Some of them are build defining. Others are just straight up power upgrade.
Dude, what is this, by the way? Radiacus Flow. So they got Radiacus Dance, but they just gave it to every single thing in the game? How is this not completely broken? I'm confused. Like, I mean, is this going to be like a mirror-tiered item or something? Like, I don't get it. Like, you just turn any single fucking ability in the game to, like, this most broken shit ever. Like, what is this? What is this? This is insane. This is insane. Like, there's not like it's not like they put it on a shit base which is limited in damage. Like, no, you can use the best possible weapon you can find, and then you could just use this with no investment into penetration or reduction. I mean, this seems insane. This seems broken. Just loot it? Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Speaking as an inverted damage Andy, I mean, my last character was literally called inverted DPS. This seems completely broken.
All in all, there's around 40 lineage supports being added throughout the endgame, so there's a lot of power to find out there. Now, the new support gems are certainly going to open up a lot of builds, but of course we have a huge range of improvements to individual character classes as well. As well as adding new skills, we had a big focus on buffing existing skills so that they can scale well into the endgame. There's a huge amount to cover here, so we're not going to discuss everything. We're just going to quick fire through some of the coolest changes. We wanted to make cold a more useful element on the Ranger, so we've expanded the cold tools available. As well as increasing its range, Escape Shot now creates fragments of ice whenever it hits the ground. These fragments explode after a short time, making the skill better for killing groups of enemies. But not only that, we added an ice fragment support that creates more of them when killing frozen enemies.
Still has to be broken.
And a new buff skill called Ice Tip Arrows that allows all your arrows to create ice fragments.
Wait, radioactive bow or spear, empowering your next barrageable bow or projectile spirit to create ice fragments on hit. Can consume free energy charge to bypass its cooldown. So it's like a combo button. You gotta press it. Cast time 1 second. Empowers 3. It's like a war cry, bro. You get like a war cry, but for archers. Ooh. War cry cups.
This already gives clear to rangers wanting to use ice. But to take further advantage of the ice fragments, Freezing Salvo has been upgraded to shoot additional cold arrows towards every fragment, giving you a nuke-like ability. We've also modified Snipe to consume frozen from enemies, dealing a huge...
What the fuck is this? Icy Blast? The fuck is Snipe? Wait, what the fuck? I'm 100% physical. Wait, what the fuck is Icy Blast? Channel your bow before releasing a powerful shot, releasing the moment you fully charge causes an arrow to explode on impact, consuming freeze or hitting heavy stun enemies announces the explosion. Huh? Wait, I don't get. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, did the Snipe actually cold now? Is that... Wait, why is Snipe cold? Ooh. Why is Snipe cold? Only if you hit a frozen guy. So it's not cold. So it's got a cold tag. So you can... Okay, so you can optionally. All right, okay. But that says Icy Blast. I mean, I'm looking at the Icy... I guess that's the Blast. That's ice. Okay, so you can build it multiple ways.
Amount more damage, giving you a nice ice single target option.
I'm pretty sure
And something you might notice about this is that the bonus is a lot higher against bosses. This is actually a change you'll see throughout the entire game. Since it's a lot harder to freeze a boss, you should get a bigger reward for it.
Wait, did I play Perfect Shot with a crossbow? Wait, what the fuck did I even play? I was playing like I was charging up a fucking slow-ass attack. Boop. And then I was like, pew. Oh, was it Plasma Blast? I was using Plasma Blast. Yeah, the Blood Witch. Converting elemental damage to bleed damage. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it was not Snipe. And then I had another charge-up ability called Perk Strike. And then I had another charge-up ability called the Fire version. There was there was two versions of Perk Strike, right? It was like one, and it was like two versions. It was a better one. Yeah.
Another theme you'll see throughout the game is making movement feel better. Toxic Growth is a skill that was pretty cool, but a bit annoying to use with the jump that it had.
Bleed Cancer.
Now Toxic Growth is a rain skill, so you can spam it more easily. And we've also added a new poison skill while we were at it, called Toxic Domain. It creates a small area around you that makes all your attacks create toxic growth pustules, but attached to monsters. Another skill that was annoying to use was Electrocuting Arrow. It's now just a regular arrow, making it easier to use.
GG.
But it also means you can support it with projectile supports. And it now also has Area of Effect, making it a tool for more than just single target, and allowing it to scale into the endgame. We also added a new spirit reservation called
While active, dodge rolling will create a Mirage Asher that uses socketed range attack for a short duration, then vanish. You cannot create another Mirage Asher while one exists, or for a short time after one vanishes. Ooh, not really that passive, is it? Not very pretty active. Pretty active. Not gonna pretty active. But at 60 spirit. 60 spirit. I mean, maybe if you could link it up with some fucking giga damage nuke. Maybe if you could do some big ass ailment with some slow. Imagine imagine a Mirage Asher with like Snipe that's doing an ailment, right? Or something like a Plasma Blast. Yeah, imagine a Plasma Blast Mirage Asher. And then you could just, instead of having to like sit there and go, you could just like roll, and then the Mirage Asher does it for you, right? But then it's 60 spirit, which is a lot. I think it would only be good if you can do it on a really abusable ability that like is complete cancer to use otherwise.
Mirage Archer. This is a meta skill that allows you to create shadowy clones of yourself to use a skill of your choice. Of course, one of the other big problems the Ranger had was survivability. Evasion was the weakest of the three defenses, and we wanted to change that.
This is crazy.
Currently, evasion doesn't evade all types of hits in the game, so you're still vulnerable to things like slams or unblockable attacks. To make evasion characters more tanky, we're adding a new mechanic called Deflect.
Deflection provides a chance. Okay, deflection rating provides a chance to deflect damage from hits, preventing 40% of the damage from those hits and ailments. Hits and ailments. The exact chance to deflect also depends on the character's on the attacker's accuracy. What the fuck? Wait, how come armor doesn't get damage reduction to ailments? The fuck is this? Oh, wait. PoE 2 ailments work different, and if you reduce the hit damage, then you reduce the ailment damage. Wait, why does it say ailments? Wait, did they get to double dip? Did they get to double dip? Did they double dip? Did they change it now? Wait. They inflict. Armor is not reduced elemental damage as well. Armor does do elemental damage with the new armor mod. Deflections, yeah, okay. I mean, this is just like, that's like, yo, let's just fucking make spell suppression in the game, boy. And we'll just give it to the evasion cucks. It's just like, you just cap that shit, boom. Just 40% DR, bro. There you go. Here, have a fucking Giga Fortify, bro, 24/7.
Unlike evasion, deflect works on everything.
What?
And if you successfully deflect a hit, you take 40% less damage. Items can now give you a mod that gives you some amount of deflection based on your evasion. And there's a bunch of it available on the passive tree too. Deflection is rolled in addition to evasion, so this is an upgrade for regular hits too.
Oh, this is cool because, like, you know what? It's fucking one of the biggest things that I hate about PoE2, and it's not. I mean, I do dislike a few things. This is one of them, and it's like the lack of having nodes on the tree that I can click to get EHP. Like the feeling of just picking up life nodes in PoE1 tree feels good when you want to get like tankier. I don't have that option in PoE2. I'm like, it's just like, well, what's the best damage for my build? That now having this wheel, for example, I mean, what I'm seeing here is like effective HP button, effective HP button, effective HP button, which is cool. I like that. I want more stuff like this, more defensive options that feel like worth and good, and not like complete ass. You know, armor passives. Well, you got to understand in PoE2 right now, armor passives suck dick. Well, at least when I played the game, maybe they're better now, but they sucked ass, mega dick, giga ass. Now the new armor changes that are coming are going to do the same thing, hopefully, if you mean that the node's good.
And unlike evasion, there's no maximum chance. You can reach 100% deflect against all hits if you spec into it enough. Of course, this is a buff that helps all Dex characters, so the Mercenary and the Monk, but especially the Huntress, are seeing big defense boosts from this as well.
Like
Speaking of defensive mechanics, let's talk about block and parry. Now, one of the big concerns on the release of the Huntress was parry feeling unreliable. One of the big reasons for this is there's a lot of hits that are not blockable, and thus not parryable either. So a huge balance change we're making is that now, everything is blockable, except for specifically unblockable red flash skills that bosses use. This makes parry much more reliable. And not only that, but to make block and parry nicer to use, you now also move faster than before while using these abilities. This is a massive buff to passive block as well. So to counter that, we did have to lower the max passive block a bit.
I gotta get back.
Buff to you now also move faster than before while using these abilities. This is a massive buff to this makes parry skills that bosses use. Is that now everything is blockable except for specifically unblockable red flash skills.
Okay, so wait. Oh wait. So they're doing aspect of the turtle. Like I said they should do. This is like I bitched about this. I said it's lame as fuck. The only fucking ascendancy that was viable for block, you had to take this fucking shit ass ascendancy that you didn't want to take just so you can make block work. As a dev, I'm just saying, good. It was called aspect of the was it aspect of the turtle? It was, right? It was. Wait, wasn't it? Wait, what were I thinking of? It was the one that said your shit now blocks like AoE because it doesn't otherwise, right? And you get that, and then block becomes actually not dog shit, right? Oh, was it crab? Turtle? As dev. Turtle charm? The fuck is it? Wait, path of building? Wait, path of building do PoE2? How do you get to PoE2 and path of building? I don't even know. How do you even get to it? Is it cool? Oh, you need PoB2. Path building PoE2. Yeah. It was this thing. It's aspect of the cock-ass. Yeah, this guy. Is he dev now? Can block damage from all hits while shields not raised. Turtle charm. 35% less block chance. Yeah. So that shit is done. So that's going to be changing. Okay, this is huge. This is massive. Somebody's block. Wait, does that mean we're still... Every hardcore fucking life-based character is still going to do Titan's Grasp with a fucking shield? I mean, Titan's Grasp got Giga buff because of the 25% attribute requirement nerf, right? I mean, you got it, right? Why wouldn't you? You get 50% then... Yeah, you. Why wouldn't you? You would have to get block. It's such a good layer of defense for, like, minimal investment. Every class that can use a shield should do it. Just get block cap real quick, right? Because it's fucking broken now. Don't tell him Noah's. Oh, okay, dude.
The bosses use.
Wait, what do you mean?
This makes parry much more reliable. And not only that, but to make block and parry nicer to use, you now also move faster than before while using these abilities. This is a massive buff to passive block as well, so to counter that we did have to lower the max passive block a bit, but overall you should feel much safer. Fire skills on the warrior were not really cutting the mustard, so we decided we needed to upgrade a bunch of them, but also add some more as well.
They were the only good ones.
Let's start with a buff.
Like the only good one was like the best ability. Like changed my mind. The only ability that felt good in Path of Exile 2 as melee was the ability that's not even melee, was the molten ball attack. It was a molten ball attack, and then Mace Strike was okay. Every other melee ability I didn't even like. Oh, Bone Shatter felt good, but like as a main clearing ability, that felt like a ability where I'm like, yeah, I like this. Rolling Magma, except it was cancer because you got to move forward. But like once you kind of got used to the move forward, it was like, okay, I can deal with this. And because you would have this like sweet little zone where you would do like giga damage if you could land the balls to shotguns, and then you had to like move back, position your character. Insane damage. It was good. So now they've changed it, so it's like you just get to fucking slam that shit and go crazy.
Volcanic Fissure now branches into multiple fissures, giving it much more clearing potential. We've also added a new skill called Forge Hammer.
I gotta read this shit. Hurl Fiery Hammer slams into the ground and lodges there. Well, the hammer is lodged into the ground. Reusing this skill, it recalls the hammer and resets the skill's cooldown. Alternatively, using a Warcry near the lodged hammer causes it to shatter, releasing a number of molten fissures in a spiral. While the fissures persist, using a slam on them will cause an aftershock, which spreads to all connected fissures. So I'm guessing that's some sort of shock cutting action. Impact 30% physical divide damage while you're wielding both weapons. Hit with 30% less damage. Fair enough. Impact radius is 1.8. Hammer duration is 12 seconds. Cooldown does not recover while the hammer is lodged. So you can have multiple hammers up and then detonate them all at the same time for like a giga one shot.
This skill throws a molten hammer that does a slam at a distance. You can recall the hammer back by using the skill again if you like.
It looks sick when he throws it. Like, I don't know. It looks sick. Do you know, it reminds me of... Was it Diablo 3? Wait, what game am I thinking of? No, it reminds me of World of Warcraft. There was a paladin move where you could chuck your hammer on the ground and it would like radiate like lightning damage to anything near it. So you'd be like, boom, and then it would go zzz, and it would just zap everything and just fucking melt everything near the hammer. Yeah.
But the cooler thing to do is to use a Warcry near it. Using a Warcry makes the hammer explode, making a bunch of volcanic fissures around.
This is some visual
Volcanic fissures
shit.
re-trigger when you slam them, so it's a great skill to make a flaming arena to fight a boss.
Like, how the fuck do you see the boss fight with this?
We also buffed Perfect Strike to have much...
Wait, they buffed it. They say perfed it. Charge your full channeling, releasing the moment you fully charged, releases the wave of fire. Wait, this has been nerfed. They're saying they buffed it, but it's nerfed, right? This is after it's got nerfed. Because this was like, I remember for pretty much any build in the game in PoE 2, you had to do this. Otherwise, you're an idiot. Even if you were not, you're like completely anti-synergetic. You're going like a armor shred, physical build that's got nothing to do with elemental, anything. It doesn't matter. You do the perfect strike because it does giga damage. It just did giga damage. That's how it worked. 35% attack speed. Attack speed 35%.
Larger area of effect.
Wait, we can't try this to get banned here. What is this? Why are we, guys? This is why you can't reply. Do you guys really want to fucking lose your? Do you really want to lose your ability to reply mods subs? Because you're about to. You're about to. Subs are on the cusp. They're on the cusp.
And changed Molten Blast do not always force you to move forward.
Oh my god.
Trust me, it feels a lot better to use now.
Oh my god.
The skill
oh my god.
now has massively boosted chance to ignite monsters as well.
Bro, Molten Blast. Yo, I need to fucking bust out a fucking notepad, dude. Notepad plus. What do you got here? Close that down. File new. PoE 2 builds. Molten lob. What's it called? Molten lob. No more cancer walking forward. Very nice feeling shotgunning in the sweet spot in the Goldilocks zone. Yeah, we're gonna go with that, bro. Whatever, dude. Okay, we got Molten Lob. Dude. EQ. Bleed. Big hit. Nice. Clear. Feel good. Okay, we got that. All right. Okay, there we go. Let's make 2 builds of this file. Let's have a look here. Let's go back to the video.
And you're going to want to ignite monsters due to a new glory skill called Ancestral Cry.
What the fuck's this? Glory skill. Attack. Oh my, look at these fucking tags, bro. Look at these fucking tags. What is it? Look at this. Look at these tags. Attack, buff, AoE, melee, slam, projectile, trigger, fire, duration, nova, conditional. Holy shit. Relax, brother. Relax. From a war cry using a... Wait, perform a war cry using a glory skill gained by igniting enemies to turn you into a embodiment of comb. So this is like an alt. While embodying comb, your footsteps trigger volcanic steps. Volcanic steps. Oh my god. Melee strikes and slams are ancestrally boosted. Holy shit. And melee strikes trigger volcanic eruption. Ooh. But wait a minute. Are we even using a slam? We're not using a slam, and I don't think we're using a melee strike. Wait a minute. Do I even get to use Ancestral Cry? I guess you could just do it and then chuck out a fucking Hammer of the Gods or whatever. You could do it. You just do that and do a Hammer of the Gods. Call it a day.
Ancestral Cry charges up with glory by igniting monsters, invoking King...
Was it a slam? Wait, the Hammer is a slam? How are you getting glory? Well, you just getting glory, bro. From Warcry using glory gained by igniting enemies. You just get ignite enemies to get glory, bro. Requires 100 glory to use. You just level it up. Yeah. Oh wait, it's glory. Oh wait, does Hammer of the Gods use glory now? This is a patch that came in after. There was some nerf patch to Hammer of the Gods, right? Where they made it so it's like not like run around wait for Hammer of the Gods to come up and just let Hammer of the Gods kill stuff. Glory is a stun thing. Glory is great as heavy stun. Huh? I don't even know what Glory is, chat. I quit the game before Glory. Yeah, I stopped playing before all this Glory shit came in. Or at least I played for like 2 days whenever the Glory... Like, I can't remember what happened. The most recent PvE League I played for fuck all, and it was because something happened. Either I think a game came out that I needed to play, or... What was it? Was it because of WoW? Oh! Was it fucking OnlyFans? Oh, was that when... Dude, Pyro Software was like... doing those epic memes about like being out of mana, and they were doing the fucking raiding. That was it. It was the WoW Classic arc. It was OnlyFans Gaming, wasn't it? I think it was a year ago. Well, wait, was it? I don't even know what it was. I'm gonna be honest. I stopped playing PvE really fast most recently, and I don't know why. It wasn't just I died. There was some other reason. I had something else to do. There was something else to do. You saying you power leveled one of my characters? I didn't get a character power leveled. What are you talking about? A power leveled character? We getting character power? We did not get fucking characters power leveled. The fuck is this? Me getting characters power leveled? Me. This guy, you think I'm gonna get power leveled in a fucking Path of Exile? I would never. I would never. I don't even remember. I'm just trying to think. Me and Path of Exile getting power leveled. There's no memories in my brain of that ever happening. There's just that one 5-way carry guy who carried me 5 at one time, and he just never left. That was in Path of Exile 1, and I paid him, and he just never let it go. He just never let it go. That one guy. You're talking about in World of Warcraft. Oh, he's talking about World of Warcraft. Yeah, I don't know.
Calm's favor. After you do, use it to channel Calm's ancestral power.
What is
Every
that?
attack will be ancestrally boosted with fire. Your very steps will explode, triggering volcanic fissures, and molten balls will erupt from your attacks. Warrior shield skills were another area we wanted to improve. Now that we've got sprint, We actually don't need to have a cooldown on shield charge anymore. It now also does more damage the further away you are when you use it. Shield Wall got significantly upgraded AoE. Also, you can shield charge right through it to trigger all the walls. We also added a new shield war cry.
Fortifying cry. Perform a war cry that grants guard and causes your subsequent shield attacks to release empowered shockwave when dealing damage. Cooldown can be bypassed by expending an endurance charge. Guard duration increased. Guard duration is 4 seconds. Create 1 shockwave per 5 enemy power in range, counting up to 50 power. Grants 34 guard for every 5 enemy power in range, counting up to 25 power. Huh? So you get empowered shockwaves.
Cry gives you a defensive buff, but it also builds up charge on your shield that empowers your other shield skills. And Magma Barrier.
I guess I just wanted a war cry that buffs shield abilities, I guess. Makes sense. Magma Bussy. Fucking Magma Barrier! Magma Barrier! Attack, persistent AoE, melee, trigger, fire, duration, 30 spirit reservation. Was this in the game when I played the game? I do not remember this at all. This is like something like, was this in the game? Because what the fuck is this? I feel like I would know if there was Magma Bussy in the game. Did I just miss a PoE 2 league and I just fucking forgot? Like, there was a PoE 2 league that just happened and I missed it? Because I don't remember this. It's either that or the dementia. While active, increases your block chance passively and imbues your shield with lava over time. When fully imbued, your next block with your shield raised will expend the lava and create an explosion, granting you endurance charges. Fully imbues your shield in 8 seconds. Grants 25% increased block chance. So that's not good. Well, it's like 25. Like you think 25% block. Holy fuck! But it's not like PoE on block. That's saying like your base block chance, bro, gets increased by 25. Don't fall for that bait. Level 4. So I mean, maybe it's super good though. Maybe the magma spray goes hard as fuck. I mean, free endurance charges, right, for just playing the game. So people hit you, you just get endurance charges, and then you can spend it on something. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Became a trade kirk and lost all the weight. Who did I? You played Dawn of the Hunters for like a week max and went to World of Warcraft. Yeah, there was something that happened that caused me to quit the game early to play another game. I think I remember being like, I recall being like playing PvE. This is my memory. I recall playing PvE and I was doing this map and I was just kind of like fucking wasn't enjoying it that much. And like there was people linking all these clips and stuff and we were having fun. I was like, man, I want to go do this other thing. I want to do this other thing more than I want to do what I'm doing right now. What am I doing? Let me just stop this. And then boom. And then the NZ server DDoS. Oh, was that on PvE 2 or PvE 1 though? You were hard stuck in Act 3 and had to go trade. I did not go trade.
Doesn't require timing in order to use. Just wait for your shield to charge up and block.
Yo, I should go trade this league though, right? With the new instant trade shit. To test it out for the boys. Wait, trade. Okay, trade. V, no trade. No trade equals more target farming and can pivot more based on loot drops. Trade new
for
trade
dementia,
system.
The best remedy is omega 3, as in omega lul 3, omega lul 3, omega lul 3. You are bad and still bad, and you are going to read till the minute where the game launch, and will not train Axie 1 to 3, not even once.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't WoW. That wasn't Feb. You quit PoE2 for Valheim, I'm pretty sure. For Valheim? Okay, well, yeah. I just remember I wanted to do... I just remember not having that much fun. Be like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm just not enjoying it that much. And I was like, fuck this. We'll go to something else. I don't know what it was. I remember just, like, last time I played PoE2, I was like, eh. It needs more shit. The end game doesn't... the vibe was off for the end game. It wasn't like, you know, the feeling of a PoE League where you like fully hooked and you want to progress your Atlas and you're unlocking these points and you're getting like consistent progression and you're hoping for this item to drop and it wasn't that vibe of like full on addiction, and it wasn't there. It wasn't there, bro. You know? I didn't even get to endgame. Oh, shut the fuck up. I didn't get to endgame, bro. Jesus. Okay, dude.
Seismic Cry.
You're just making random shit up, aren't you, boys? You're just making random shit up, just typing it in the chat. From a Warcry, knocking back in nearby enemies and a heavy stunning enemies that are primed for stun. If the enemy is heavy stunned or currently heavy stunned, enemy is hit, the skill empowers subsequent slams, perform an additional aftershock. This skill's cooldown can be bypassed by spending endurance charge. Okay, wait, what? Deals damage, knocks back enemies, powers 1 slam per 10 enemy power. Additional aftershock. This is kind of like mid, isn't it? Isn't that kind of fucking mid, bro? Isn't that kind of mid?
Now stuns enemies that are primed for stun.
I guess it's an alternative
and
to
we changed the Sunder interaction with Armor Break. It now also gives a Sundered Armor debuff that makes enemies take 40%.
Okay, I wanted to read this more. Slam the ground, creating a roiling fissure that damages enemies in a sequence of areas in front of you. A number of enemies hit by the wave will release a shockwave, damaging other enemies. Hitting an enemy with fully broken armor makes them take additional increased physical damage. So there it is. Okay, so before it used to consume. Before it was like, hey, consume this thing, and then, was it guarantee a crit, I believe? So now instead, it's like, it makes it do a more big dick debuff. Well, the wielding both weapons if there's a damage cause shockwaves inflicts sundered armor on hitting fully broken inflicts sundered armor on hitting fully armor broken targets, causing 20% additional increased physical damage taken. Sundered armor has a 6-second duration until enemy is 6 duration or until fully broken armor is removed. Isn't this like kind of nerfed compared to what you could do before? Am I tripping? Was it, wait, before you had like that broken interaction where you could do nutty bleeds. Yeah, you used to have 100% crit. It was fucking crazy. Oh, the crit was unethical? Was it broken? I remember just doing it when it was ethical. And then being like, yeah, it's pretty fucking strong. I bet you if you got the crit bleed noise, you'd be broken as fuck. But then, yeah, Chad didn't want me to do another splee build. So I didn't. I went the other one. Yeah, I went.
You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. Look, mommy, I got the X if you into taking drugs. I'm into having sex. I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug if you into getting rubbed. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub.
Guys, I need to relax.
Extra physical damage. Great for bosses. Ancestral Warrior Totem has undergone some pretty significant changes too.
Resume stream during Chapter's red totem that causes socket to base skills. Uses socket to base skills. This totem has no limit. This totem has no limit. Cannot use channel skills or skills with cooldowns. Damn! Wait, so the more endurance strategy you have, the more you pop off with it? That's kind of crazy, right? Like, what the hell? If you got, like, insane... Wait, isn't there going to be some interaction where you just get infinite endurance charges somehow, and then you just, like, break the game with this, or what? That seems kind of crazy.
We wanted the skill to feel more like using an ultimate. That summoning an ancestor to fight for you was a big deal. So we've changed this totem to require 3 endurance charges to summon, and massively buffed its damage. It also now scales your weapon damage too. Since there's no limit anymore, if you build around generating endurance charges, you can summon an entire forest of totems. In order to make that...
I mean, that seems kind of broken, bro. I'm going to be real. That just seems kind of broken. Cannot get endurance charge when hitting an enemy with supported skill when perfectly timed. perfect endurance. Support skills which benefit from perfect timing on use. On successfully executing perfect timing with supported skills, gain endurance charges. Damn, okay. Okay, so you just have to land your perfect timing and then you get endurance charges? Okay. During Impact 2, 30% chance to gain endurance charge when heavy stunning and non-unique enemy with supported skills. Gain 3 endurance charges on heavily stunning unique enemies with supported skills. That to me is like less impressive because it's conditional. Where like, you know, on the fact that you've got to like cannon fodder, or you've got to like, you only get a few stuns on the boss. Whereas this one here, you could just spam. I don't know if that's necessarily good gameplay, right? Just spamming a perfectly timed ability and then just summoning totems that just nuke the boss. I guess it works.
Easier, we added some new sources of endurance charges. There's now a support to make perfect strike generate charges, and a support for generating endurance charges from heavy stuns as well.
I guess I can put a totem build now.
Chat, we just need to accept that solo self-found isn't for Quinn anymore. He always has the biggest smile on his face, trading for items in hideout all day, bright-eyed, full of excitement. He hasn't stayed solo self-found in an RP since King's March.
Wait, it's going to be insane because you don't have to like waste any time. So... Oh, bro.
You were actually doing well last league.
Giga.
Better than previous builds of yours in Po 2. But you got gaslighted by chat, who was salty that you weren't stuck in X like them. And then you went to play Valheim because the vibe was off. In other words, it was actually chat's fault this time. It wouldn't be a lie if you said that.
Quinn is better, no Lee. Quinn is better, Quinn is better, numbing us one out.
I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough.
Speaking of totems, we wanted to upgrade the Warbringer. Among the other changes we made to this class...
What the hell? Man cries. Tragically says, I suck. He said it saying, I'm not good enough instead. That's kind of weird. Grants Ancestral Spirits grants Ancestral Spirits +1 to maximum number of summon totems, triggering Ancestral Spirits when you summon a totem. Ooh, wait, +1 number of maximum summon totems. Trigger Ancestral Spirits when you summon a totem. What's that?
Answered Call now gives an extra totem, and the spirits have just been generally buffed in many ways. Use it with your limitless Ancestral Warrior Forest to make an army of Karui that would make Tukahama proud.
Second endurance charge is spam totems. Go the summon spirit ascendancy. Profit. I mean, maybe.
We've also merged the Great Wolf Howl and Warcaller's Bellow support, so you can get all the benefits with 1 point.
Warcries explode, dealing 25% of this. Just ignore Warcries. Yeah, okay. Fuck that shit.
And Encased in Jade no longer removes the Jade when getting hit.
Gain a stack of Jade every second.
Much better defense.
I like this.
Next up, let's talk about accuracy.
Like a button you press.
Accuracy was always intended to be something that warriors didn't need to care about very much, so long as they're in close combat. But unfortunately, that's not...
Wait, you have to press the Case of Jade button, right? Wait, he's not saying... Wait, let me read that again.
Intended...
Wait, Grant skill in Case of Jade. Gain a stack of Jade every second. You have to actually use the active, though, yeah? Correct? Or is that just saying, like, yo, you just get it 24/7?
Eastern Jade no longer removes the Jade when getting hit, making a much better defense. Next up...
No longer removes the Jade when getting hit, making a much better defense. What the fuck? The fuck does it... Back in my day, that shit was like Molten Shell. Gain skill. Gain a second grade every second. How can I know? How can I read what the fuck this shit does? The fuck's this guy called? He's called the fucking Warrior... Warbringer? Case of Jade. I want to read the ability, bruv. What does it do? What does it do? What does it do? Warbringer. Additional physical generation per Jade. Max Jade stacks 10. Wait, is it passive now? I don't get it. Is it passive now, or I'm confused? Didn't it used to be like gain a stack of Jade every time, and then like when you use it, it gives you like an absorb shield based on how much you had? Or is that both? Just open it. What do you mean just open it? What, do you mean open the game or something? What do you mean? It was always passive. It got no, it didn't, bro. It used to be like fucking. You would like press a button, bro. What the fuck? How can I not know? I want to encased in Jade. Oh, Pinnacle here. Here we go. Guard. There we go. Encased in Jade. So consumable stacks of Jade to grant guard based off your maximum life for each Jade consumed. You cannot gain Jade stacks while you have guard. Gain guard equal to 6% of your maximum life per Jade consumed. Guard is 5-second duration. Gain guard equal to 1% maximum life per Jade consumed. So you get Jade stacks passively as well. So it's 10% PDR on top of you have a button you can press that gives you a big absorb shield. Correct? Is my understanding correct now? It's pretty strong. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Okay, so wait. When getting hit. And encased in Jade no longer removes the Jade when getting hit, making a much better defense.
I see. So he's saying, okay, so the J stacks don't go away. So the J stacks. Wait, what? Okay.
Next up, let's talk about accuracy. Accuracy was always intended to be something that warriors didn't need to care about very much so long as they're in close combat. But unfortunately, that's not currently the case. This was particularly annoying with skills like Bone Shatter, which you certainly don't want to mess with. So we significantly buffed your chance to hit at close ranges when you don't have much accuracy. Warriors shouldn't require any accuracy investment in order to hit with close range attacks now.
Kind of interesting.
We also wanted to improve armor. Now,
okay, wait. Estimated armor negation. Armor reduces the physical damage you take from both attacks and spells. But provides no benefits against other damage types. Exact damage depends on the damage dealt. Cannot be higher than 90%. Yeah. Okay.
One of the major weaknesses of armor is the inability to defend against elemental damage.
Yeah.
In order to mitigate this, we're adding a lot more of the stat.
17% of armor also applies to elemental damage taken from hits. I mean, dude, this is going to be good as fuck, right? Like, this is going to be good as fuck, right? How's that not going to be insanely good? No. Should be. Sounds good. No. It's before resist. Okay, before resist. Well, I guess it kind of makes sense because if it was after resist, it would be so much more effective because it'd be far lower hit, and then because it's lower hit, you get way more value from your armor. But then maybe it's almost useless because it's before resists. I mean, but you have enough armor. It's going to give you an amount of DR that's greater than 0. The thing is, physical damage that enemies deal is based around you not having something called physical resist, whereas elemental damage dealt by monsters is based around you having, like, resists. So you think about it. It's going to be, I mean, like, armor gives you, like, a, you know, you'll have, like, a 40 or 50% damage reduction to the physical damage, and you'll maybe get, like, a 10% reduction to the elemental damage or something. You know, on average, because of the fact that the elemental damage can be doing so much more because it's balanced entirely differently. Like, elemental damage is, like, hits you for, like, multiple times more than phys damage hits you for. People want armor to let them take one-shot boss attacks. That's not what it's for. Well, you just want armor to feel like... The thing is, you don't want to... If your character's unkillable and with 0 investment, that's lame. What players want is a way to scale defenses, right? You can choose, like, I want to pay for lower damage and more defense and make a tankier guy. Right? They don't want to have some bullshit where you feel like paper, though. Like, you're investing in this defense and your character just flops over constantly to anything. It's kind of lame. Okay, what the fuck is this shit, bro? Holy shit. Wait, a blacklisted... What emo did we just blacklist? The hell's going on? fuck's wrong with this thing? Okay.
That allows your armor to defend against elemental damage. It's now available on items and in a lot more places on the passive tree. One of the most important improvements we've made in 030 is to declunk the action and flow of shooting crossbows. You can now reload crossbows without any movement penalty. But not only that, all skills that can be used while moving now slow you for a shorter amount of time. This change benefits everyone, not just crossbow skills. With both of these changes put together, the run and gun playstyle feels much better. It's hard to explain how important this change is for the feel of the class. The Mercenary is also a good chance to talk about how we're rebalancing to make comboing skills much better. Take Shock, for example. It buffs damage and lasts 4 seconds right now, but that isn't really giving you enough time to take advantage of it. If you're going to add a lightning skill into a build that otherwise wouldn't use one, we need to make mechanics like this much better. So we've increased shock duration on monsters to last 8 seconds. And skills like Plasma Blast, which are...
Is everyone just going to have, like, every element now? Like, because it just fucking, like, you know, because everything just lasts as long as fucking super easy to get, you know? Like, and just there's, like, hardly any penalty for doing multi-element, you know? I don't know. Are we just going to do every element?
Tended to be good at shock.
Which, that's kind of lame. I feel that kills flavor.
Shocking enemies. Now increase the damage bonus by a lot more. You'll find changes like this all around the game. Chill now lasts 8 seconds, giving you more of a reason to weave in cold damage. Freezing skills are better at freezing. Burning skills need to cause burns that last longer. But making skills like Permafrost Bolts and Incendiary Shot double down on how they're supposed to be used, it makes using them in your build alongside other skills much more likely. We're also making sure to buff specific combos.
I don't like being shoehorned. I don't like them putting arbitrary multipliers. Like, when they say, like, oh, this ability does, like, this much more with bleed damage, and it just becomes the best bleed ability, and you just have to use that ability, then it kills the variety in what you can pick. Now, these devs are smart as fuck. They're going to think about this. You know, so I don't think that's... But the way he describes that scares me. He's like, we're just going to fucking add random-ass multipliers to these abilities, so then you use it. But, like, fuck that. That better not be the only way to do it or the best way to do it. Like, there better be other competitive options. I'm trying to think of a great example of this because there was great examples. It was like, there was pretty much no... I mean, dude, it was the case for PoE2. It was in many other games, they just brick it. And they just no real choice.
Looking good today, Quan. That shitty haircut grew out well.
Why are people critiquing my hair today, boys? I just got out of the shower.
Those two. The freeze explosions from frag rounds now chain to nearby enemies.
Bussin', bro.
And using high velocity rounds with armor break will now fragment the opponent's armor. This causes monsters to take a portion of high velocity rounds damage with every subsequent hit, even tiny pellets.
That's broken.
So that means following it with a shotgun blast is way more effective.
Sounds unethical.
Now there's a lot more buffs to crossbow skills, but for now I'm just going to...
Mortar Cannon. Totem gains 10 cash resistance. Totems gain all rares. Totem lasts 8 seconds. Limit 1 totem.
Talk about the new one we added, the Mortar Cannon. This one lets you socket any grenade skill, and using it will summon a cannon which loads and then fires the grenade you choose.
Little cannon guy? Okay.
Another issue on the Mercenary were banners. They were just not very good, so we're doing a big upgrade to them. They now last longer, don't disappear when moving out of them, and we removed the Valor mechanic. They now just give a much more consistent and stronger buff, and you can use them when you get enough glory.
That's just way better. That sounds way better. Oh my god. Like, fuck that whole Valor dog shit. Like, it's fucking reserve, unreserve, whatever the fuck bullshit. Like, it should just be like discreet. You press the button, it does it if you have the thing. Boom. And it doesn't like despawn or any of that bullshit, you know?
On which, one of the main focuses was making various minion types more useful to use together. Melee minions in particular were just not that great compared to ranged ones. As a starting point, we just straight up removed the requirement for minions to have accuracy. Attack minions now always hit, which makes them way better.
What?
Brutes got some good numeric buffs, but we also added a new command skill where they do a war cry that intimidates enemies and detonates any frozen monsters and allies around you in a big cold explosion. We've also changed the Frost Mage's command skill to an ability that adds ice armor to your other minions, adding a layer of defense. And it makes them deal cold damage back to the attacker as well. The ice armor also makes the minion count as frozen, so the Brute's Warcry can detonate them too.
Oh, little combos.
Unearth...
Again, I mean, dude, I mean, okay, do you know what? It doesn't say use this to make your brute do that. It just says it just counts as frozen, which allows them to do other things, which is interesting. But it seemed like that they really are trying to they really are trying to make you play a certain way, aren't they? They really are. It seems like extremely like they do this, then use that.
Was changed to work on corpses of your dead skeletons, allowing you to summon the minions more easily in boss fights. And they also got a new jump ability, allowing them to get into combat faster. Ray's Spectre was also feeling pretty weak for the spirit cost they have. To be honest, we were a little afraid of these when we first balanced them. We've both decreased the spirit cost for a large range of monsters, and have significantly increased Spectre damage too.
The issue is there's not enough shit in the game, so then it's like there's only one interaction. Whereas in PoE 1, for example, there's like 15 different interactions you could have with that. Whereas now it's like it feels like it's just like the GG have made a little build for you to play. You can play it. It's a little bit D4-esque almost, like honestly.
Feel a lot more impactful.
But that'll solve. They are building it in a way which doesn't say it's not worded in a way that says when you use the other skeleton ability, it makes this. It's saying no, they count as frozen, which means it is open to have things happen that are interesting in the future when they add in more uniques and more skills, which is cool. But right now, there's just not enough shit, unfortunately.
There's also a lot of new spellcaster weapons with newer cult skills. But I'll just talk about one of them that I thought was particularly cool. The Reaping Staff is actually a wicked scythe that gives you a new ability called Reap. When an enemy is low in life, you can dash forward and rake enemies with the scythe to cull them instantly, healing you.
Looks sick.
It can also inflict critical weakness on enemies too. Now, there's a lot of balance changes in the Witch's Ascendancy classes, but I'll just talk about two of them for now.
Like
on the Blood Mage, you were previously required to spend your first points on Sanguimancy, which really was supposed to be the downside for being able to access the
Blood Mage just gained Blood Mage straight got giga buffed. +2 +1 ascendancy, baby.
Powerful abilities on the rest of the class.
The Blood Mummy.
In order to make picking the Blood Mage a better early option, we made Sanguimancy free, unlocking the power of the rest of the class immediately. On the Infernalist, the Demon form wasn't something people were really using because you lost your weapon stats while transformed. Well, you no longer do, so it's a much better option now.
Boom.
On the Monk, the wind skills needed a big upgrade for sure. Staggering Palm can now stack up its duration if you use the skill multiple times in a row, so you can keep the effect of all your skills throwing up wind much more easily.
That does look sick.
Wind Blast had the purpose of building up to dazing an enemy, but dazing just wasn't worth all that effort. Now it just dazes on hit, meaning a single Wind Blast will make all your skills stun enemies more easily. Following up with Vaulting Impact on a dazed enemy previously did a bunch of stun. Now it allows you to break your enemy's stance. When their stance is broken, following up with a fast attack will do way more damage.
So wait, that's the same mechanics to that crossbow one, right? So a percentage of the damage you dealt, which did the stance break, is then dealt on every subsequent attack that you deal, right? That's the way they described it in the combo. So like it's basically you want to basically use a bunch of fast hitting shit. Yeah. That's how it works. Trust me, that's how Mark said that.
Cool build that certain people always enjoyed in PoE 1 was hand-to-hand combat, but until now we just didn't have a real way to make it viable. Well, that changes now. The Monk, as a true martial artist, now has the ability to learn the Hollow Palm technique.
I didn't read this, by the way. Can attack though is using a quarterstaff while both your hand slots are empty. Unarmed attacks that would use your quarterstaff damage gain. Physical damage based on skill level. Physical, so you gain that. Okay, so you just gain flat fizz based on the physical. So okay. Well, that's a bit like you need to explain more. How much physical damage? How much? 1% more attack speed per 25 item evasion rating on equipped armor items, and 0.1 critical strike chance per energy shield per. Okay. So if you want, you could do like pure evasion, attack speed, giga fast, or you could do pure crit, no attack speed, or you could do like a hybrid, which is probably going to be pretty potent with like something like Ghost Routes. Bro, Hollow Palm, Monk, plus Ghost Routes, plus what do you call that shit? New, what do you call it? Spell suppress? New evasion spell suppress? BS? What's called deflection? It's called deflection, right? Do not need niche trade league gear. Just need gem levels and good defenses. So Hollow Palm is like super trade cuck on PoE1 because it's like it's a tribute stacking, and all tribute stacking builds are these autistic items and stuff. Whereas this one here is like saying, hey, gem level, boom, flat fizz, and then more defense equals more offense. I mean, that seems like a pretty fucking good character to scale, right? Like, your character just scales up. Like, he just naturally gets more damage as he levels up. And then, as you stack defenses, your character just gains offense. I mean, and it looks sick as fuck. I mean, this is a pretty cool one, actually. Honestly, this seems like a kind of a big one. I'm just going to put lots of exclamation points out here, chat, because, that way I know, like, I'm very interested. This is probably, I'm highly interested in this here, chat.
That lets you use all quarterstaff skills while unarmed. All quarterstaff attacks now have a special unarmed version.
Dude, looks sick.
And you get further bonuses to all your attacks from stacking energy shield and evasion on your character.
This is kind of basic, though.
A new keystone we also added to the monk section of the tree is Walker of the Wilds. This changes Mana Leech to work with elemental damage instead of physical, which is pretty useful for all those elemental attacks the monk has, but it works well for the ranger too. Now, one of the least used ascendancy classes in the game is the Acolyte of Chayula, so we knew we needed to make some changes here. One of the key things we had to do was make the chaos damage that the Acolyte can do much more useful. So we've added a new skill allowing chaos.
While affected by unraveling, your chaos damage randomly either also contributes to freeze buildup, ignite chance and magnitude, or shock chance. Changing which it contributes to every 2 seconds. Okay, so wait, you just changed different. Okay, so your character just keeps fucking every 2 seconds. You're either a shock guy, a freeze guy, or an ignite guy. I guess ignite magnitude, maybe. Like freeze and chill's kind of nice. Shocks. I mean, going between shock. To be honest, if you built it in a way we're doing large hits, it means you would get potent freezes and chills, strong shocks, and strong ignites. Although, you are kind of like, you could, the RNG sounds a bit sus. It does seem a bit sus. I don't know.
Damage to
like, that doesn't seem very consistent. You know, I kind of like, you know, if you're a cold build, you kind of like expect the pack to go cold every time you go into the pack, and you just, that's how it plays, where it's going to be like, you know, pretty chaotic and unreliable.
Ignite, shock, chill, and freeze, embracing the elemental prowess of the monk in a truly chaotic fashion.
It's fun, though.
In addition, he can make all of his chaos damage leech. And we've buffed into the breach.
Leech based on cast damage as well as physical damage. Bro, that's an entire ascendancy point? That's an entire ascendancy point. Wait, that's the whole thing. You gotta ascend into that. It's just like to get leech. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Does that not look complete ass? That, like, am I like? Does that not like? Why are we ascendancing into just something? That is, hey man, you get leech, and leech in PoE2 is ass, by the way. Maybe they've reworked leech. I don't know. But back when I tried leech, it was fucking dog shit. It was dog shit.
In addition, he can make all of his chaos damage leech. And we've buffed.
That should be like a small travel point to another node. Change my mind. Okay, into the breach. When create a breach around you, allowing you to see nearby flames of Chayula. You're considered to be in a breach while the skill is active. Remnant spawns by supported skills have 29% effect. Wait, do you have to cast it? Persistent remnant? No, it's just all the time. A flame manifests every 1.29 seconds. Flames of Chayula fade after 25 seconds if not picked up.
To the breach and embrace the darkness by moving the effects of the 4-point nodes into the base skills.
Oh, did they fix this shit? Because this shit was ass, right? You having a spirit, your base darkness is 100. Damage taken from darkness is taken. Is that being buffed? Because I remember doing the maths on this and thinking, like, dude, the HP gain you get from that is so shit. And you lose spirit. Did they nerf the other monk as well? That other monk, like 2-point, like whatever it was, the other monk one, when she just went up and then down, was completely broken for like defense and damage. Has that thing been nerfed? Because it was like, do I want to take this trash node, which like kills my character off, or do I want to pick this one that gives me infinite spirit and infinite defense and infinite offense? It was nerfed, but it still 10 is better than this. Yeah.
He also gains a new notable, Grasp of the Void, which leaves void illusions.
What the fuck is this? While active, creates a short-lived illusory copy of yourself whenever you dodge roll. The copy can be damaged by enemies, and copies that are destroyed by an enemy will cause damaging explosions. Copies created this way over life. I'm sorry, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck is this?
Behind you as you dodge roll. If they're killed, they do massive explosions of darkness, dealing damage to everything in sight. Now let's talk about sorceress skills. One of the things we wanted to improve on the sword is the ability to use multiple elements together more effectively. Now, this might seem small, but one of the things pushing you towards using a single element is debuffs like elemental curses, which lower resistances of a single element. In order to fix that, we're making quite a lot of game-wide changes to these kinds of mechanics to broaden what they apply to. So for example, there's no longer 3 curses for fire, ice, and lightning. Instead, there's just a single curse that buffs all 3 at the same time. And things like...
Are you guys conflicted about this? I don't know. Part of me thinks like this is kind of lame, bro. I don't know what else. Like, I don't know. Like, I like the idea if you haven't got invest into a frost mage. Or you're investing into a fire guy. Or you go into a fucking... Like, I don't know. Just part of me is like this is like, oh yeah, just fucking everyone just gets... like, what? Okay. Okay. You could still do that, obviously, but... Like, weapon switching, plus this change, plus exposures are generic now. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things, well, I look at this, and I immediately think, this is a massive reduction to complexity. Yes, it allows them to do some, they design things a little bit differently, and it opens up more, like, synergies, but at the same time, it is dumbing it down massively. It's like, I don't know, I need to play it and see if it still feels good. I need to play it and see if, like, yeah, I need to give it a go, see if it feels like everything's more homogenous now. It doesn't really matter what element you, is all elemental damage going to feel the same after this shit? Can anyone just do any elemental? You just pick, like, elemental damage, they could just, they could just go into PV1 and just fucking change every single node in the tree to be, like, elemental damage or something, right? Or do the same shit. I don't know. I see this, and this is like, I don't instantly think this is a good change. That's what I'm saying, okay? As a dev, speaking as a dev.
It's just a single curse that buffs all 3 at the same time.
But he makes a good point.
And things like Frostbomb, which gave you cold exposure, now give elemental exposure. You can use it to buff any of your other skills.
Why is Frostbomb giving you ele exposure though, bro?
We also wanted to make switching between different weapon sets smoother, so you can use different elemental staves more effectively. To do that, we've removed the weapon switch time. And now happens instantly. This applies game-wide too. Now we didn't just want to stop there. We wanted to add some specific mechanics that work between different elements, and that's where elemental infusions come in. Certain skills can now drop elemental infusions. For example, when a frostbomb explodes, it leaves behind a cold infusion on the ground. After picking it up, you can spend it on one of any number of different skills to transform how they work. Spark will create a nova of cold-infused projectiles. Ice Nova will leave a chilled area on the ground. And we also added a new low-level skill that fires ice shards. Use it with cold infusion though, and the ice shards will explode. Orb of Storms now generates lightning infusions when you cast enough spells near it. And that's all spells, by the way, not just...
You walk over these little buffs to change your abilities, you look at little extra effects and things. Like, what the hell is this shit, man? The fuck is this shit? I mean, again, I am on the fence with this. Like, I don't know. And the way it augments some abilities, so you completely change them entirely. Like, what if that reduces the amount of combos you do? because of the fact that it could be a downgrade or break your build, right? Which means you can't use certain things because they generate these little shards. Like, is there going to be a support gem that disables the ability of the shard? Like, there better be a support gem that says, hey, this ability does more damage now, but can't benefit from these enhanced buffs. They can't benefit from them. Well, no, he's saying, like, dude, there's ones where, like, it changes your arc. So it no longer it turns into a projectile. Like, I don't want my arc to turn into a projectile. I want my arc to fucking bounce around and change into the monsters. So there better be a support that allows me to disable this mechanic is all I'm saying. Okay, little gup. New arc. I haven't seen whatever the fuck the new arc is. I'm talking about PoE 1 arc. I don't know PoE 2 arc, bro. What I'm saying is... Wait, wait, arc is not a projectile. Arc is not a projectile. Arc PoE 1, bro. It is not a projectile, bro. There ain't no way, like, my entire life's been like, spell, chaining, lightning. I mean, dude, lock the fuck in, bro.
Lightning.
I'm not talking about PoE 2. What I'm saying is, if it completely changes the way my ability functions here by walking over these little emojis on the ground, and you might break another ability that ruins an interaction, right? So I'm okay with this, right? Just like I don't mind Rampage existing in the game, as long as I can just disable the way that disable it if I want to, like via support gem. Just saying.
Once you have one, you could cast a lightning flame wall, which adds both fire and lightning damage to all the projectiles that pass through it.
Okay. How are you guys misunderstanding what I'm saying? They are changing the abilities to add in a little buff that drops on the ground, which augments your abilities in various ways. This augmentation can fundamentally change the way the ability functions. It could break an interaction that you want to use. So now you have to avoid using that ability. So they're trying to make it so you use more abilities. But now, actually, because of the existence of this buff, you can no longer use that ability in a combo that you were going to use it in, hence reducing the amount of combos you can perform with abilities. Like, lock the fuck in, bro. Lock the fuck in. Hence, fourth eye, what I'm saying is they should have a way to turn these off if we want to turn these off. Or, like, that removes so it could give it generic multiplicative damage increase for consuming the buff and not enhance the ability in the other way. They could word it in such a way where it disables it. I'm just saying.
Or power up Ember Fusillade with lightning, which will generate arcs to nearby enemies as each fireball hits. Or maybe go lightning on lightning with arc. This skill is now a projectile, and by infusing it, you can go full Palpatine.
The skill is now projectile. So I'm confused. The skill is now projectile? What does he mean by this language? What does he mean by this language here?
This skill is now a projectile. Or maybe go lightning on lightning with arc. This skill is now a projectile. And by infusing it, you can go...
It's not a projectile. Yeah, wait, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's saying it's now... The projectile thing! Well, that's what I'm fucking saying! What if I don't want it to be? Fucking lock! I get you guys, whatever I'm saying, so there's people in chat whose IQ is so low they can't even comprehend what I'm saying. They're like, okay, do you know how many builds would just be broken, for example, with elemental equilibrium, if you add a certain amount of elemental damage to an attack? And if there's some but they decide to add some little arcade-style buff system where you walk over a little emoji on the ground, which gives you a buff and it empowers your ability to, shoot out more sparks or some shit. Well, now that extra lightning damage that you didn't want now bricks the elemental equilibrium debuff on the enemy, and it ruins your build. So now you can no longer use that ability that you would have otherwise used in your build. What I'm saying is, this seems like they're adding a bunch of chaos, and they're making it into more of a ruckus, right? More shit, just random buffs and shit that just change all your shit. Like, fair enough. As long as we have control over it, right? As long as there is a support that says, yo, we can opt in to this ability not consuming those buffs, and then you get some sort of other bonus. That's what I'm saying. If you can't understand that, I'm seeing a bunch of builds. I'm imagining a system like this in PoE 1, and I'm seeing 50 builds breaking. Like, oh yeah, we added a bunch of buffs to half the abilities, so just gives you random elemental damage and just like give you extra damage as, and like now your character dies to reflect. Now your character's fucking bricks his debuffs. Now your character doesn't work with this fucking alternating. All the shit. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm imagining. I get you guys aren't theory crafters and you just follow a build guide and you don't even understand how the fuck your build works. What I'm saying is adding a bunch of random bullshit to everything is going to break a lot of shit.
Sure.
Okay? So if they're gonna do that, they just had to allow us to not to opt out. To opt out.
Full Palpatine. Get fire infusions by blowing up monsters with Living Bomb. Then use them with Comet to summon a giant fire meteor from the sky.
Oh shit.
Or use it with Firestorm, which transforms it from a small area into a much bigger one. Firestorm is unique in that it can be infused by multiple different elements at the same time. Add an Ice infusion to rain down ice at the same time as the fire. And add Lightning to add deadly strikes from the heavens into the mix. Or use it with all three to generate a storm that is truly apocalyptic.
That's sick. Let's go.
Cold Snap has been simply turned into Snap. Previously you could use it to shatter ice, but now it works to detonate all of the different elemental ailments, and makes them leave behind infusions. And just like how you could previously use it on Frostbolt, you can now also use it on Orb of Storms and Solar Orb to
How does that make you super skeptical? Like, I feel like this combination of using all elements, like going crazy, is like some tri-elemental thing, should be locked behind either A, an ascendancy, or B, super rare uniques. Just call me crazy. That should just be like, that should be like the elementalist. Okay, she gets to do triple Ellies. She gets to do all of them. Or you put it behind like a re-unique. This just scares me, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care what the fuck. I guess I'm popular. Like, look, it's fucking sick. All these things happening. Whoa, he's doing lightning, fire, and cold at the same. Bro, I'm just saying, if that's like every fucking Ellie build now, I feel like you've done damage to the game by reducing identity and reducing flavor, and just by, you know, there should be a way to do that for sure. And with that, if they want to make that into a whole ascendancy, fucking do it. Do it, bro. Do it. Lock it in. Or they want to put it behind super re-uniques that are real potent, powerful, that you multiple, do it. But like, I don't want this to, I don't want every elemental, I don't want it to be like a death of elemental builds, where every single build is just like, oh, are you elemental or are you fizz or are you chaos? It should be like, nah. Fire, cold, lightning, chaos, fizz. Not just like, oh, I am an elemental build. What element? No, you know, I use all the elements, bro. Like, it's PoE2, dog. Or like, you know, I use all of them, dog.
detonate those as well, which means you can create many infusions at once. We also have a Spirit Reservation.
Again, though, hey, this is my initial, this is just like what's going through my head, right? And maybe I'm bricked up from like fucking playing Diablo, playing PoE, playing, you know, Diablo 3, all the other various RPG games that have all this shit. And then actually, this is going to be like, wow, I'll actually love this. The Elemental Archon, fucking Archon Mage, does all the elements, everything does all elemental damage. And maybe I'm like, hey, this is the best shit ever. I guess we'll see. It's one of the things where to find out. You can look and you can be like, eh. But I'm skeptical. This whole area of all the Ellie bullshit and all the buffs, giga skeptical. All it reminds me of is D3. It reminds me of Convention of Elements, right? Where you have 3 different abilities and you're forced to cycle through them 24/7. It reminds me of D3 where you're picking up fucking buffs off the ground. It's like D3. There's a whole D3 section. D3 is a good game, don't get me wrong. It just giga D3'd out the wazoo, is what I'm saying. I'm
skill and a support gem to help generate them too.
Okay.
On the passive tree, we've added quite a few new keystones to the Sorceress section. Here are a couple of examples. The Black Flame Covenant keystone converts your fire spells to chaos and causes your ignites to deal chaos damage. Your fire spells and ignites will also turn purple.
Basically poison.
The Ritual Cadence keystone causes your invocation skills to trigger more times, but makes them trigger periodically over a longer duration instead of one. Great for those auto-bomber builds. Now, in addition to skill changes, we've added a lot more options for the passive tree for each class. Overall, there are more than 100 new notables on the tree, usually around 20 per class, along with smaller clusters as well. Check out the old version, and here's the new version. It's a lot more dense, and there's more interesting nodes than before.
Yeah. Jesus.
Now, we probably can't go through too many of these in the live stream, so I'll just show you one from each class's area of the tree.
When's PoE2 patch coming?
We tried to be a lot more thematic with the new nodes.
When's the PB2
so, for
going?
example, the Molten One's gift.
Worry, 10% fire radius, 15% increased effect of fully broken armor. Fully broken armor effects also apply to fire damage taken from hits. Damn, that's a way of changing it. The armor break to be good for fire.
It lets the benefit of armor break apply to your fire damage. Or how about Last Stand?
It's 25% increased attack damage while surrounded. So that's like a bunch of people around you. Low life, okay, below 50%. 25% increased attack damage if you've been heavy stun recently. 25% increased attack damage while you have no life last. Jesus. That's a bit of a meme, isn't it? This is a bit of a meme, I feel like. Like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
Which gives you lots of stats.
I mean, maybe if you're like a low life mapping build that doesn't use a life flask or something, I don't know.
Situation becomes more and more desperate. A lot of these have themes aligning with ascendancy classes. Like for the Gemling Legionnaire, for example. You have crystallized immunities, which makes you immune to different status ailments, depending on which support gem color you have socketed the most.
Wait, I'm always red, boys. Ignite immune, kind of shit, isn't it? Green build. So green builds get, like, this is going to be good for green builds, just for shock immune. So if you're like a dex build, this is going to be a potent node just for instant shock immunity. It seems super strong for hardcore, let's be real. Although, wait, shock on PoE 2 was, like, non-existent, but then I believe they were patching it to make it more of a mechanic. So maybe it's a mechanic now, but I remember shock was like basically never happening whenever I was playing the game. Yeah, shock was basically never happening to the player. Nah, it was like it wouldn't. Yeah, and freeze was a meme as well. Freeze was like it basically never happened unless you were fighting that one ghost mob type that was inside the tower, and then you would just get permanently frozen and couldn't play the game. So
another ascendancy class aligned notable is Sanguimatic Rituals. It allows arcane surges to generate life instead of mana, unlocking that support gem to be used with the Blood Mage Ascendancy. In the Sork area, you'll find these Archon nodes that allow you to convert all of your elemental damage to a specific
Archon, spending 100% of your mana.
Element. You become a Lightning Archon when you spend enough mana, after which all your skills will be converted to lightning, and you will do extra lightning damage as well.
This is like D3 vibes to the max. Just arbitrarily converts everything after you meet some basic condition. I mean, fair enough.
We have ones for cold and fire too, with different triggers.
Got like 2 lightning Archon, fire Archon.
Here's another cool one.
There was literally an Archon wizard, bro. It's like I mean, it is. It is. I mean, it is what it is. We'll see how this plays out. We'll see how this plays out.
Elemental Practitioner gives crit bonuses if you've triggered a skill recently, while also making crits generate more energy for triggers.
Highly skeptical.
Or maybe you'd like the Great Boar. It gives you a reason to...
What is that? What is that? Why is that in the game? Why are they allowed to get life per dex as well as they get dex? This seems stupid. I'm going to say it how it is. That seems completely broken. Like way too potent. I mean, what the hell? I mean, then again, yeah, I guess it's probably. I'm thinking about PoE 1 stat stacking. PoE 2 stat stacking is different.
Stack dexterity to make you tougher, giving a bonus to life and stun.
It is in a very convenient spot. It is only 4 points, and then we don't know what the little nodes give you. Like, what did the little nodes give you? Is it dex, or is it dex strength, or is it stun threshold, or what?
Threshold. Or the Cunning Fox. It straight up gives you 5% quality to all your gems. Now, another major change is attribute requirements. We felt like players probably had a few too many nodes and attributes and not enough in interesting passives, so we lowered attribute requirements by 25% across the board.
But wait,
that means you'll have more points.
Is that literally, that's like weapons, right? So when we're doing with every single person in the game who's playing like a strength build is using like that one node which is used two-handed weapons, it works on that, yeah? Or what are we talking here? That's because that was the thing that was cucking us. It was the two-handed weapon strength requirement that you just arbitrarily needed to have some stupid amount of strength for every fucking character. So you would always take the fucking strength nodes. He doesn't know. What are you guys Pepe laughing about? I have not read the patch notes. I've not read the patch notes yet.
To spend on interesting notables rather than just needing to allocate more strength, dex, and int. Now there are way more changes than just these. These are just some of the cooler ones we wanted to show off, but I'd say that's just about enough for now. We're not even half done yet. So I think it's time that we talk about the League, the rise of the Abyssal. And to do that, I'd like to hand things over to Mark.
As you just saw, even though there are major changes to the campaign for this update, we want to make sure that every time you come back for an expansion, each area feels different with something extra going on.
Holy shit.
It is really important to make sure your experience when returning between expansions is fresh and filled with new content. And the way we did this was through leagues. Every expansion we make has a league, which not only has a fresh economy, but also has new content exclusively available in that league. So, let's delve into the details of what Path of Exile 2's first official league is bringing to the table. The Abyssal are a race that have mastery of forbidden magics and necromancy. They were thought to be extinct, but have merely been biding their time underground. You first encounter signs of the Abyssal in Clarefell, where you discover that during the night, weaker members of the Undead Legion have been attacking the encampment. The townsfolk require your help to investigate where the monsters are coming from and put a stop to their attacks.
Out there, ancient creatures, lurking beneath the surface.
As you proceed through Rayclast, you'll find fissures in the earth connected to larger pits. The monsters normally inhabiting the area are being affected by it, harmed by it even, having their souls eaten to strengthen the Abyssal underground. As you defeat the monsters, the fissure closes and Abyssal emerge, angered by you killing their food. Once all those fissures have been sealed, the pit activates, and more Abyssal pour out. This is where the larger and more dangerous monsters reveal themselves, as hordes of Abyssal spew out from the pit to take your soul.
I'm not a huge Abyss enjoyer.
If you kill a magic pack, then magic Abyssal arise.
Myself.
If you kill a rare, then a rare monster will emerge from the pit, having absorbed some or all of its modifiers for itself.
I'm hoping PB2 hits diff with the Abyss.
This
They've changed it a lot, and with all this weird shit, combining modifiers, boss, depending on what's inside there, you get like a maggot or a giant guy or like an Exile dude.
The monsters emerging will generally be more difficult and more rewarding, as each modifier gives better rewards. If you are able to kill them all, the pit will seal shut. As each pit is closed, it reveals a potential reward. Abyssal troves will rise up out of the pits, allowing you to get some epic loot. Areas often contain many pits, with many fissures, and the amount goes up as you progress through the game, getting more intense. It doesn't stop there. When monster mods are absorbed, they have a chance to become infused with the dark necromancy, transforming them into Abyssal modifiers. For example, you defeat this monster with the Mana Siphoner modifier. Their soul is eaten by the pit, and a rare monster emerges. The Mana Siphoner modifier has transformed into Soul Siphoner, and is now amplified in danger and reward.
Oh my god, what the fuck is that shit, bro? Fucking Giga Mana Siphoner, bro? Come on, like we gonna have Giga? Oh my god, bro. Yo, this sketch is, I hope they balance this in a way that isn't complete, like, oh, you killed a guy and it was like 5 rares, and then this one dude comes out who's like got 50,000 million attacks per second, Soul Eater regenerating, fucking moves 500, like, is like teleporting across the screen, drains your mana, fucking inflicts some degen on you that kills you in half a second. Like, I hope they don't fuck this up. Like, it sounds like Awakened mobs, where they had Awakened affixes, and or like that one patch wherever they did the fucking Giga, what are they, Arch Nemesis, but like before they nerfed it and shit. It really does. It sketches me the fuck out. I think they've learned their lessons though, and there's going to be hard caps on these Abyssal modifiers, and they would make it so certain combinations are impossible, where one mod makes them super tanky, and then the other one gives them a heal, like, so they don't make these invulnerable mobs that do infinity damage. Surely they have mutually exclusive affixes, so they can't get like complete abomination monsters that are just unfun to play against. That's how I'll describe them, unfun.
Abyssal pits also interact with other monsters and mechanics. If you defeat a rogue exile that's near one, it'll be revived as a Lichborn that has multiple Abyssal modifiers. Lichborn exiles even have their own unique jewel they can drop, if you are lucky enough to encounter and kill them. If an abyss spawns near a boss...
Wait, so the abyss has to spawn near it. So this is like ritual where you can't like kite mobs into it, yeah? Because that'd be stupid if you have to like, oh fuck, I got a boss, I have to kite him over to the abyss to then kill him. I'm guessing it's gonna be like, yeah, where you can't kite things in, because that's gonna create an awful gameplay loop. I'm not complaining. I'm just, dude. This is like all the shit I'm thinking when he's saying it, like how it could ruin a game and be abusable and be dog shit. And I'm just saying, like, I'm just calling it out now, just in case you haven't thought about this, right? They're smart as fuck. They ain't gonna have stupid mobs with 500 modifiers that like are unkillable and do infinite damage. They ain't gonna have an exploit where people can kite monsters into a zone indefinitely to gain infinite loot and XP. They're not gonna do that. Devs are smart. They think about this kind of shit, bro. Okay, bro.
Killing it will summon a gigantic Giga Larvae creature.
The Giga Larvae is like...
Monsters imprisoned in essences near abyssal pits are affected by the abyss too. They will come with an additional new essence item that can be used to craft your items. So, that's your bread and butter of the Abyssal League. Kill surface-dwelling monsters, kill the emerging abyssal, close the fissures, overcome pit encounters, and reap the rewards. There's a lot more to this league, however. As you complete abysses, you can find ancient pieces of bone, preserved from the remains of fallen Lichborn. These are one of the many rewards for your mission to seal the pits. You can use this on a rare item to imbue it with abyssal magic, adding a special hidden modifier to your item. But how do you reveal it? In Act 2 of the campaign, you'll encounter a new area. This area is overrun by the Abyssal and the Lost Men. After clearing through this area, you'll find the Well of Souls, a giant cavity with a massive vortex of souls swirling beneath you.
Listen up. So there's a huge debate in chat, because I was like, I saw this and I was like, oh, it's an additional modifier, huge power creep. But then chat was saying, it is an additional modifier, and then some chat was saying, it's not an additional modifier. Let's listen to this verbiage here. Let's listen to the language used to describe this modifier to try and glean some insight here as to whether or not it is a 6+1 or 5+1.
So how do you reveal the mods on your Abyssal infused items?
Place an item with an unrevealed desecrated modifier into the slot to reveal its options, then select one to be placed on the item.
Obviously, just
press Alt over the item.
Throw them in, right?
Okay, let's see what you got. So we don't know. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so.
That's exactly what you do. Before throwing it in, you are given the option of how you want to transform it, in the form of a choice of 3 different modifiers. Once you've chosen your desired mod, throw it in, where it will absorb the power of the souls, and the ominous creature will then retrieve it for you.
That's a cool animation.
These modifiers can be ones from the core mod pool, all the way through to specialized modifiers that cannot normally appear on items. During the campaign, you can use it as a way to more easily add useful existing mods, but during the endgame, there is a whole set of new and powerful mods you can add to your items. Like this mod for crossbows.
Okay, let's look at 1, 2, 3. That's a hybrid. Okay.
That allows you to place an additional ballista totem.
Okay.
Or this one that...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But wait. They're all separate? Nothing hybrid? Is there extra cold damage a hybrid roll? Do we know? Does it hybrid with spell damage or some shit? I'm trying to figure out if it's 6+1 or 5+1, chat. Okay, do you understand?
Add spirit to your staff. Or this one that allows you to generate more combo with your quarterstaff skills. And speaking of endgame, you can also use the system to craft waystones. With a preserved vertebrae fused into your waystones, you can get some new modifiers that push difficulty and rewards to new heights. Here are some examples of those mods. You always get a choice of 3, so you can avoid anything you don't think your character is capable of. With this, think your character...
Natural rare monsters eat the souls of slain monsters in their prisons. Oh, fuck that. Fuck that. 23% increase of rare monsters, natural rare monsters in the area. A Union of Souls with the map boss. Ugh. Ugh, dude. Fuck all those. Fuck all the. I guess maybe like a blood mage character with the mana one.
Is capable of. With this modifier, the natural inhabitants of the area are all spawned near abysses, and there are up to 9 additional abyssal pits in the area, making it just a full-on abyss ruckus. Or this one, which causes the final abyssal pit in the area to always result in a boss encounter, be it either one underground or one that emerges out. There are dozens of these waystone modifiers in total.
That's very much this Exile where we players and their minions deal no damage for 3 out of every 10 seconds. Why are we doing that mod? Who thinks that mod is? It's like a gameplay mechanic that makes you change your gameplay, right? Like, as a dev, I understand that. But it's just fucking ass, bro. I mean, I'm just not going to pick that one, right? GG noobs. Surely I can pick one that's not that bad. They should give like the abyssal modifiers when you pick them. There should be like 2 options where it's like complete cancer T17 dogshit mods that all the guys who would like broken mirror tier builds that just one-shot anything in the game regardless because they're trade cucks who play the most mythical shit possible can pick. And then have a 3rd option for like normal players which is just like, yo, just make the map a little bit better. But doesn't add some cancer bullshit into it, you know? Just say, look, hey, just makes the map like 10% better. And there's no other bullshit on there. It's just like a bit better. And you invest the Abyss resource, you get a little bit more. I guess that's a pussy cuck take, though. Maybe that's a pussy cuck take. Business lead to an Abyssal, okay.
But all you can get from this crafting. That covers the new crafting mechanic. So what's left? Well, we talked about how when closing pits, you can get abyssal troves. But sometimes when closing an abyss, you'll reveal an underground cavern that leads to the abyssal depths. After jumping into the depths, you'll find an abyssal city, swarming with legions of the undead. When underground, every single rare abyssal enemy will have an abyssal modifier. And at the end of the dungeon, you'll even find a rare with a more powerful Lichborn modifier. Once you're able to defeat this powerful rare, you can also find some nice rewards. Aside from the entire area being valuable due to the abyssal modifiers on the monsters, it has its own specific drops too. One example is a set of Lineage supports that can rarely be found in these depths, like Kurgel's Leash. This support empowers both you and your minions when you command them, granting unholy might to you both.
Okay.
Another depth-specific outcome is a set of omen-like items that amplify your abyssal.
While the zone is active in your inventory, the next time you reveal desecrated modifiers, you can re-roll the options once.
Crafting.
Okay.
Additionally, we're adding some new socket
Gloves, critical hit chance is lucky against parried enemies. Okay. Lucky crit against parried enemies. Okay. Body armor prevent 3% of deflected damage. Oh, that's pretty potent. That's just just multiplicative damage reduction. So that's just very, very, very strong. Limited to 1 only though, which makes it kind of like less strong. Way less strong. Yeah, if you could stack it, it would be fucking broken though, because it'd basically be max res. But it's not stackable, so yeah. Oh, well, it is, though. It is stackable, isn't it? Because you can get sources of deflect damage prevention, right? Elsewhere. So then it is just turning it into fucking max res. So that deflected damage shit, that deflected stat seems broken. But do not get it twisted. Deflected damage seems broken. Well, I was saying this would be broken if you could stack this gem, which is not stackable because it's limited to 1. But actually, then I realized that actually the stat, I did see it somewhere else. I think it was like on one of the nodes they showed. So clearly there is going to be very rare sources of the stat. But this effectively means the more you get of it, the more relative damage reduction you gain. It's basically like global damage reduction. It's like if it was a res that would just said fire res, cold res, lightning res, fizz res, just every type of res.
that can drop from the abyssal depths. Take Ulliman's Gaze,
right, yeah, similar.
which can be socketed into your armor. These are a bit special in that you can only have one equipped at a time, but give some pretty powerful effects. Think of them as almost a unique socketable for your equipment. In the endgame, where you can still find depths, you also start to find a different type of underground chamber. In these areas, you'll find an ancient spire, a device being used by commanders of the Abyssal factions to plunge Rayclast into a lightless void. Your goal is simple: kill this commander and destroy the spire. There are 4 bosses in the Abyss League, and there are some pretty cool uniques available from them.
Like, I don't know what that ball... Well, I've never seen them do the ball mechanic good. I hope that ball mechanic isn't going to be complete ass like the PoE1 ball mechanic. Maybe they got new ball tech for PoE2, but yeah. Okay, flask gain charges per second, 2 charm slots. This item gains bonuses from socketed items. So in a helmet, 87% increase effect of socketed items. So if you got that, yes, I see what he's saying. So yeah, you get like way more socket effect, and then you get it like counting as like a weapon or a chest. Wait, aren't weapon ones? Wait, there's no way it would work on weapon ones, right? Because it like it's just socketed. It's local. That one probably doesn't exist, right?
Example is this belt, Darkness Enthroned.
Probably.
It has 2 sockets, but
pausing it. I am not hate watching, guy in chat. I'm not pausing and hate watching. I'm pausing and I'm analyzing, and you know, and I'm thinking about what their intent is. Dude, I think overall I'm massively positive. Massively positive. There's one part where I'm skeptical. I wouldn't even say it's not hate watching. I'm just skeptical. That's it.
Hold on. Socketables don't work on belts. Well, this belt has...
Do you not think I like this belt? I'm confused. Do you think I don't think this belt is good? I'm like, oh my god, this belt could be fucking broken if you get the right one. This belt makes you think, maybe I should go SSF because this is a really cool item that you could build around based on what drops. That's fucking interesting. You know, I'm a D3 enjoyer. I said D3 vibes. There's a lot of D3 vibes. Bro, I've got more D3 playtime probably than I have PoE playtime, homie. Okay? Let's not get it twisted. And it's just like, there's lots of bad things about D3 design. And, you know, seeing it go towards that, right? It's a bit sketchy. Because I remember one of the biggest worries about PoE2 was they were going to dumb it down way too hard. Right? And then we were like, oh, thank God they didn't dumb it down too hard. But now they're kind of like, they are kind of iterating in a way where it's like they are making it a little bit more basic, which is, you know, just interesting. It's an interesting design choice.
There's a special mod that allows it to count as a different slot for the purpose of socketables. This one, for example, counts as a helmet. I kind of want one that counts as a body armor. I wonder how rare that one is. You can also find this unique jewel, Undying Hate. This jewel transforms part of your passive skill tree into an abyssal version and has multiple depths. The deeper it goes, the more of your passive tree has multiple depths.
So 10 tribute, 2% increased mana carry rate per 10 tribute. So 2% mana carry rate for 3 points. But wait, you'll get more tribute as you go, so then it's way more, isn't it?
The deeper it goes, the more of your passive tree is affected.
2% increased period reservation of skills per 20 attribute. 2% reduced presence of area effect per 10 tributes. 2% reduced presence. 2% reduced presence area effect per 10 tributes. That's the downside. But then it's a massive upside, so who cares?
Allowing you to fulfill your fantasy of becoming part...
It's a Cuck Orcux, isn't it? It's just Cuck Orcux. It's to make it for solo players.
Abyssal Lich.
1% of maximum life converted energy shield per 20 tribute. Oh shit, okay. He ain't playing, homie, with this.
Now, the last thing that Abyssal commanders can drop is a Finger of the Lich. But what use do you have with a random undead finger? Well, the next time you return to the Well of Souls, with the finger in your inventory, your character will almost feel compelled. To do what, though, you might ask? To jump in. The items you threw
it unlocks that shit in your hideouts, so you don't have to do a 6-second animation for every NID. And like when you're crafting your maps, you don't have to come here and like fucking watch every map, chuck in like 5 maps, and then waste like a minute of your life, right? Surely, surely. You think it's a Caniculamac boss? No shot. No shot.
And came back more powerful, right?
It could just be a boss.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, you're right. It could just be a boss.
You will just have to find that one out for yourself. Along with the introduction of Act 4 and the Interlude, we will be adding 25 new endgame maps. These maps will contain all the new monsters and bosses we're adding, improving variety and giving you opportunities to experience the new boss fights many times. Let's take a look at some examples. Rock Pools is a map where you explore a shallow rocky coastline, surrounded by coral and filled with sirens. At the end is a giant Goblin King boss, ready to eat sulfite and squish you like a bug.
What is that?
Holton is an Ezomite township which has seen better days. Explore and clear the township to find a gothic, Reaper-like boss with the ability to manipulate storms and fry you.
What is their obsession with showing off the same boss like 52 times, but it's just like not even, I don't even like this boss.
With both lightning and wither.
She's in this, isn't she in the Sanctum? But isn't she in the Sanctum? Am I tripping? Is she not already, like, they keep setting new boss like 15 times for this one boss. Is she not in the PoE 2 Sanctum? Am I tripping?
You with chaos. Given some of the new bosses added are a bit...
This guy looks crazy. What is this? Look at how badass he looks. A fucking He-Man lightning guy?
A bit more epic, such as the Act boss and final bosses of each Interlude part, it would be a bit of a waste to just use them as regular map bosses. Instead, we'll be adding some new mechanics to the Atlas that use them. These start appearing pretty fast into the endgame, and will help bridge the gap until you do your Pinnacle.
To me, this is like the most important thing. Like, you know, you have all this shit like skills and abilities and systems and everything, but like if the in-game content kind of sucks, like to just go through and it feels like lame to progress and, you know, navigate through the map, then you're fucked. It doesn't. You could have like the best systems ever, best itemization, best all that shit, but then if the map if it's boring to just go around the maps, then it just sucks. Well, I think the coolest thing about the map system is when you find a cool, unique map. You know, you see like on the distance, you can see like a fucking dude. You know, the guy who gives you items. Is he called the little trader guy? You see that guy. You're like, oh shit, it's a unique map where you have a chance to get a super rare item, and you're excited because you see it. Or you see the Untainted Paradise, bro. You see the Untainted Paradise, and you fucking and you're like excited to travel. Like, I'm gonna fucking go there, and then you do this. Whereas there's not enough of that happening. And there needs to be way more points of interest and things that are interesting to go to and like to be excited for. And then they need to give you ways to, have, target farming your content. So you're about looking for particular things for one person, whereas another person might be looking for something else. So it's fun to like explore and go around and do shit. Not just like, oh, I guess I'll go this one now. Click, click, click. Same shit. You see like one unique map every 20 years kind of thing.
Bosses.
Hey.
In the desert biome.
So we're just like seeing this is cool. Like seeing some crazy boss thing, which has got some crazy cool rewards and it's fun to fight. And you're like, oh, fuck yeah, boy. Let's hit to this thing, boys. Let's go. This is cool.
And encounter a wild sandstorm. 3 maps around the sandstorm contain a device you must activate. Upon doing this, the sandstorm's magic is disrupted, revealing the map inside and allowing you to access it and find the cause. This presents itself in the form of a boss, similar to the existing Citadel bosses. This boss is a Faradin Swordmaster, who has been blessed with the power of a time gem, allowing him to take his swordsmanship to the next level by replicating himself, maneuvering rapidly, and severing the fabric of time itself with his powerful slashes.
What is that?
And severing the fabric of time itself with his powerful...
The fucking teleport 360 Giga Slam it, dude. That's crazy.
Slashes.
Boom.
In the water biome, you'll encounter a giant maelstrom. Where one of the maps surrounding the water biome connects to it, but the connection is obscured. You must run the maps nearby, hoping to find a beacon, which will remove the maelstrom and reveal the connection to that map. Another example is this Vaal vault in the mountain biome. But how do we get inside? Running the adjacent maps to it will yield a key, which you can then use to gain access to this vault. Or, you could just trade for one, I guess. Use the key to dispel the powerful force field surrounding it, leading to the Vaal Elite and their rewards inside. These all contain Uber versions of the Act 4 boss, and the bosses at the end of each part of the Interlude. And each have their own exclusive drop pool of new Lineage supports, which, as Jonathan spoke about earlier, are powerful support gems that modify your skills in pretty crazy ways. As an example of a Lineage support which can come from the Faradin's...
Okay, supports attack skills which you use yourself, which do not already have some condition for use. Okay. This can't be conditional. Supporter skills can only be used after you've moved a certain distance, but will bifurcate critical strike chance. Cannot support skills which have a cooldown or are triggered, and does not modify skills used by minions. Attack critical hit chance with supported skills bifurcates. Well, can someone just hold Alt, bro? Because we don't know what that means. Supported skills become usable after you've moved 20 meters. Well, what the fuck is bifurcate, bro?
Swordmaster mentioned earlier, we have Garo Khan's Resolve, which causes your critical strikes to fork, but requires some mobility on your part to properly enable. From the boss sealed in the...
That's it, bro. Forks. Okay. Like, dude, that's it. They're just gonna go. It's fork. Like, you could have just said fork, bro. You could have just put fork on the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like, do we really need to go with bifurcate? I mean, do we really need to go with bifurcate? Means if it rolls, it means it rolls crit twice, and it lands both. You double crit. Rolls crit twice, not proj fork. If you've moved 20 meters, only, and it's conditional on you moving 20 meters. Get bifurcate. True. Okay, this one here.
Vaal Vault, we have Paquate's Pact, which supports your war cries, causing them to inflict massive amounts of corrupted blood at the cost of your own life. Additionally, some maps can now spawn summoning circles, a room resembling an Ezomite henge. Activating this henge will spawn bosses. It's as simple as that. We'll also be making changes to how affixes and waystones work, as the current prefixes equals good, suffixes equals bad iteration isn't quite hitting the mark. We tried something new here in Path of Exile 2, but after seeing the feedback we decided we actually liked what we had in Path of Exile 1 more. Like Path of Exile 1, each affix will now be both difficult and rewarding.
Too bad.
Waystone mods now grant an increase to the number of waystones dropped, and an additional specific upside attached to it. This means as you roll your map, they will continue to get more difficult and more rewarding, and allow you to customize the difficulty and rewards of your maps better. For example, the Frostbitten mod, which causes enemies to deal...
Isn't my goddamn Exaltadors on a fucking map? God damn. They got me wasting that. The thing is, I haven't played PvE2 since they did the buff. They've done the buff now, right? They're way more drop. But back in my day, mate, the Exalted Orbs, you would not do that. That's a waste, bro. It's a waste.
Full damage also increases the rarity of items dropped as its upside. Whereas the Of Venom suffix modifier, which causes enemies to poison on hit, has the upside of granting increased pack size. Some maps will end up having a lot of rarity, some a lot of pack size, and others will just have a mixture of everything. Due to now having more modifiers granting difficulty, we will of course be reducing the difficulty per modifier to account for this. So, that's your Atlas, maps, and waystones, but what about Breach, Ritual, Pinnacle content, and others of the sort? We're making some changes around this too. The first change is that you'll now be able to invest 2 points into your specific League Atlas trees before having to run the Pinnacle content. There will be a specific objective for each type of content which grants you those points. For example, in the case of Delirium, it's simple. You just need to find and kill one of the bosses in a map, Omniphobia or Kosis.
How do you guys feel about the PoE 2 fucking Atlas tree, by the way? How do you guys feel about that? Because yeah, I'm still on the fence on that bad boy. Yeah, I mean, I think about how compared to like how good the PoE 1 feels, right, to spec into and do your build and everything. But they can't really do that because there's not enough shit in the game, so they don't really have that option to do it, I guess, because there isn't just enough shit, is there? PoE 1 has 10 million leagues, which is why they can have a map. Yeah, the PoE 1 one is a lot better though, no doubt. This shit, I don't like this whole separate thing. Like, you just fucking spec into what you want to get, and you just get it, bro. No, this fucking put some Pinnacle boss to just unlock a point to make it better. Like, what the fuck? Pinnacle, relax.
Most of the points for each content come from the Pinnacle content, but we're making some changes to accessibility here too. Currently, access to most Pinnacle content requires the same key at the easiest and most difficult version of the content. This creates a negative feeling where at lower difficulties, instead of wanting to run the content, you're often better off just selling it to someone who can run it at maximum difficulty. To address this, each content will now drop splinters, which will not fall.
Are you guys imagining, like, I'm just like that meme of like the guy, where it's like a bunch of people hitting themselves on the head, and then it cuts to another bunch of people hitting themselves on the head, and everyone's doing this like, all the Redditors just fucking just freaking out when they see that. Like, we just burned everything into splinters. Like, now I think they'll be fine with that because UGG don't drop the splinters individually, right? Drop them at make the chance of them dropping far lower, but when they do drop, there's more of them dropping, and then it's fine. Redditors don't like it clicking. They don't like to click much. Okay, they got weak little fingers, and they want them to be stacked.
Form into singular items. Instead of using the singular combined item in the realm gate, you can now just bring your splinters.
As a dev, this is ingenious.
Upon inserting the splinters into the realm gate, an interface will appear, allowing you to pick your difficulty, and you'll notice each difficulty has a different entry cost.
They should do this for the Uber bosses and shit. Do this because they just separate them in different keys and all the shit. Just turn it, splinterify everything, bro. GG. League of whatever, path of splinters. Let's go. This shit goes hard.
This means if you want to run easier difficulties, it costs less, which also allows you to run this content much sooner into the endgame. Because these encounters now just require splinters, their corresponding Atlas tree no longer affects the difficulty of them, and has been changed to purely affect the content and maps on the Atlas. The Arbiter of Ash works a bit differently. Instead of requiring splinters, he still needs crisis fragments. We now have only 2 difficulties of the Arbiter.
What is it?
The first, requiring the existing fragments obtained from citadels. The second,
wait, can we get back there?
Requiring...
Switch to the less dangerous version of this encounter. Wait, what? Is that on or off? How do you know? Wait, I don't know what that means. Wait, what? Wait, what the fuck? Does that...
The existing fragments obtained from citadels. The second, Uber Arbiter, requires Calamity fragments. These come from Citadel bosses also, but only once you've allocated the maximum number of points in your boss Atlas tree, ensuring those Citadels are at their highest difficulty level. Since we're talking about Pinnacle content, we also felt that the leveling curve in the late game was a bit too...
I can't believe I had to kill myself for that fucking video, guys. Like, do you remember whenever I did the professional game video and I had to script that run rip, like, for the boys?
Steep. We've smoothed this out a bit so that it's easier to get to the mid-90s.
I would have totally not died to that guy.
We've also added some new in-game unique items. Let's take a look at a couple.
I've only ever fought this boss once, but it was cool when I fought him. It was cool. It was a cool boss. Straight up.
This is a pair of gloves that grants Crackling Palm, a skill which empowers your unarmed attacks, granting the ability to call down the storms themselves on enemies you hit. Put simply, literally every monster you hit with your unarmed skills will be struck by powerful lightning. Pair this with the aforementioned Hollow Palm technique to embrace your true unarmed prowess in combat. Another unique we're adding is Henekura's Sight. Equip this amulet to be granted the power of the Mother of Death herself. This is reflected by granting you a skill called Foresight. While you have Foresight, your dodge roll no longer avoids hits, but instead, being hit while dodge rolling restores you to full life and makes you unable to die for a brief period of time. You'll notice when this does occur, a copy of your character appears and takes the full damage. This is you seeing that future, as if you hadn't been wearing the amulet. Ultimately, your endgame experience should be more streamlined. With new content to find, you'll be able to invest in your Atlas trees.
I'm sorry, how did that shit work again? Because I heard that, I just heard him describe it, and then I saw it live, and I still didn't get it. So, it's some basic shit. It just makes it sound more confusing.
For a brief period of time.
Wait.
Dodge rolling you a skill, Power of the Mother.
Okay, grants level 18 future past. 6 attributes, accuracy, evasion, rating, cannot be blinded.
Of Death herself. This.
Okay, Headquarters observes your future past, granting you the opportunity to subvert a lesser fate. After a period of hindsight, she will grant you her foresight, which prevents you from avoiding hits while dodge rolling. Prevents you from avoiding hits while dodge rolling. Okay, so your dodge roll no longer avoids hits. When you are hit while dodge rolling, Hinekora restores you to full life immediately before taking damage from the hit. It grants you beyond sight, which prevents you from dying. Damn, so it's just a straight up instant full HP, giga iframe. Okay. Grants each of hindsight, foresight, and sight beyond sight in sequence. Huh? Grants each of hindsight, foresight, and sight beyond sight in sequence. Hindsight lasts for 17 seconds duration. Foresight prevents dodge roll from avoiding hits and lasts until immediately before you are hit while dodge rolling. Foresight prevents dodge roll from avoiding hits and lasts until immediately before you hit. Well, okay, so that's just one buff. That's just that. So this is like the one that. Okay, I see. So that beyond makes you unable to die and lasts for 1.5 second duration. So you get 1.5 iframe. Well, okay, fully recover when you gain sight beyond sight. Okay, so all it is that you roll. If you roll correctly, you become immune to damage for that roll. Okay, if it was going to hit you, right? So you can't get one shot, and then you heal back to full. That's what it is. So it's kind of a reward for being like a god roller and rolling at the right time.
Is reflected by granting you a skill called Foresight. While you have Foresight, your dodge roll no longer avoids hits. But instead, being hit while dodge rolling restores you to full life and makes you unable to die for a brief period of time. You'll notice when this does occur, a copy of your character appears and takes the full damage. This is you seeing that future, as if you hadn't been wearing the amulet. Ultimately, your endgame experience should be more streamlined, with new content to find.
I think it's a bit of a meme item, I'm going to be honest. It sounds like it could be abusable for some bosses. Like maybe it could give you invulnerability on some... I mean, I get you there's some abilities that you just couldn't dodge roll though, and it just won't work against. But yeah, I think it's going to be niche case abusable, but not like some shit that's completely broken, right?
You'll be able to invest in your Atlas trees sooner, engage with Pinnacle content faster, have less FOMO running said Pinnacle content, reach higher levels easier, and do all of that while finding many new chase endgame items.
I fucking pressed order my last order, and it fucking ordered me burgers without patties, bro. It gave me a keto burger. Oh, no.
Talking about finding items is one thing, but what about crafting them? We've taken a step back and looked at some of our crafting systems to make some notable improvements. Let's start with essences, which suffered from an issue where the regular essences were effectively useless and didn't give players the tools or excitement that a crafting system should provide. To alleviate these concerns, essences are being changed in a few ways. Firstly, they're being changed to function like regals and add specific modifiers with specific values, meaning you know exactly what you're going to get. We found that players were often bottlenecked by regal orbs when crafting in the campaign, so this helps to fill that gap, allowing you to better upgrade your items. For example, this lesser essence of flames which will be able to add a flat amount of fire damage to your magic martial weapons. Secondly, we're adding many more tiers. That Lesser Essence of Flames, for example, has a regular variant and a greater variant too, adding even more fire damage with each upgrade. The intention of this is so that when you find one early on, you don't worry about holding on to it till later to use on a higher level item. You should feel free to use them as they come to get powerful upgrades during the campaign. Lastly, our highest tier of essences, now called Perfect Essences, will function like a Chaos Orb instead of a Regal. So it will replace one of the modifiers on your rare items with the specified mod. Such as this Perfect Essence of Flames. You'll notice this one doesn't just add flat fire damage like the ones before it. The Perfect Essences often give something a bit different, with some opportunities to be pretty damn powerful. There are many different essences, each with many tiers, covering many of the more core modifiers you'd want on items early on, through to chase specialized ones for endgame. Speaking of endgame, we really wanted to expand our crafting options for late endgame crafting projects. You might have noticed that at endgame, you get way too many transmutes. Wouldn't it be nice if some of those didn't drop, but instead you got something a little more powerful? At higher levels, you can now find Greater Orb of Transmutation and Perfect Orb of Transmutation. These can be used on normal items to upgrade them to magic, ensuring that the modifier generated is of a minimum level. This is similar to how you find higher tier items on the ground, but for crafting. These higher tiers will also exist for Orb of Augmentation, Regal Orb, Exalted Orb, and Chaos Orb, meaning you can get all of the orbs required to take your item from normal rarity to a fully completed rare with guaranteed high tier mods. On top of these new core crafting currencies, we wanted to make sure there are powerful crafting bases to use them on. Now in endgame, you can start to find exceptional items. These are items that drop at normal rarity and are perfect for your from-scratch crafting projects. They can come with extra quality, up to 30%, or an additional socket to use your crafting socketables in. And yes, they can be corrupted for yet another socket. You can also get exceptional unique items. To add even further to your crafting arsenal, we've added a whole suite of new omens to ritual content, and removed some of the more unimpactful ones that weren't being used. Some of the new omens include the Omen of the Ancients, which will cause your next Orb of Chance to not destroy the item, but generate a random unique of the same class. Or the Omen of Sanctification, which is my new...
I couldn't pause during that because I was eating, and my hands were covered in shit. All potent changes that enhance replayability. All potent changes. All just straight up W's from PoE1. Good ideas. And the way they consolidate the currency items to have better versions. Potent. Potent as fuck.
New favorite.
Straight fact.
This will cause your next Divine Orb used on a rare item to reroll the values of its modifiers, allowing it to exceed the normal minimum and maximum values, raising the ceiling on the new most powerful rare items in the game.
What is that? So this is like just a gambit item. Randomizes between 80 and 120. But wait, isn't that just doesn't PoE2 corruption do that already? Doesn't PoE2 corruption do that already? Am I crazy? Valves already do that? Or is that to one mod, or is that to all mods? Is it one mod or all mods? It's like corrupt for rares. Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, it's uniques only. Wait, what? No, Dine Object using a rare item will sanctify it. No, it's rare. The Cabal Orb's corruption. Yeah, so the Cabal Orb was the one for... Yeah, okay, yeah. So it's like for rares. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's for rare, yeah.
This omen will also cause your item to become sanctified. Sanctified items cannot be crafted, just like corrupted ones, so consider carefully when you use this. Another is the Omen of Chaotic Monsters, which will cause your next Chaos Orb to reroll all modifiers on a Waystone, allowing you to fix your maps if you get some modifiers that are not feasible for your build. Besides these examples, there is a huge variety of new omens for you to discover in your ritual encounters. With the release of Act 4, notably taking place in the Karori archipelago, you'll be able to now find a new currency item, Henikora's Lock. Henikora, the Karori goddess of death, has the power of foresight and is able to see many futures, including the outcome of your next craft. So, imbuing her lock onto an item gives you that same power too. For example, you'll know whether or not to use an Exalted Orb on your item, as you will know exactly what the outcome is. So, with all these new crafting improvements...
Wait a minute. Can you even change items in PoE2? There's no colored sockets, so is it abusable? Is it as abusable as it is in PoE1? Is there a way to... In PoE1, you can keep changing the color on the item, right? To then reset the seed for what you're going to get. Quality? You can just do it with the quality. Oh my... Are you guys dumb in the head? I get you guys are dumb in the head or something. So in PoE1, you can just infinitely lock an item over and over and over and over and over again to basically guarantee, like, get whatever mod you want on an item. Okay? And what I'm saying is, do we have the ability to do that in PoE2? Oh my god, I'm gonna ban this guy. I'm gonna ban this fucking guy. No, you're banned. You're just fucking retarded. You're banned. Holy fuck. Just use a new lock. Yeah, but you don't just use a new lock. Have you ever used a lock before? One does not simply use a new lock. That doesn't work, idiot. You change the color or you change the socket you change it, and then you get new mods. You don't just use a new lock. You just divine it. Did divine work though? Does divine actually work though? We don't know. We don't know how PoE2. We've never seen a lock before, so we don't know. And that's the question I'm asking. Is it going to let us do it? Regardless, you still got to sanctify afterwards, so there's still going to be RNG. Even if you can deterministically eventually craft any item you want, given the Henikora's lock. If you sanctify it, then GG.
It's safe to say you're going to be making some epic items, and not necessarily just ones for yourself. So given that, it's time to talk about a massive one. Trade. It's finally here. The moment we've all been waiting for. Fully asynchronous trade. Over the years, the way players trade with each other in Path of Exile 1 has morphed from using the forums, through to the endgame chat, all the way through to using the website. These systems, in all their iterations, work for a while, but with each iteration new problems eventually reveal themselves. Be it requiring you to be in your hideout too much instead of out there killing monsters, or never getting responses from people who are either AFK or just can't be bothered. In order to finally solve this, and this has been a long time coming, we're adding a new system that allows you to buy items from other players without requiring the seller to be present. They can continue farming, killing monsters, AFK as they please, and can even be offline. With the introduction of King's March in Act 4, you will encounter Ange, assistant to Rog in the Meridian Free Traders Company. Over the last 2 decades or so, since Path of Exile 1's storyline, Faustus has handed down his knowledge and expertise to Ange, and she is now ready to take over his business.
What the fuck?
If you have a hideout unlocked already, you can immediately invite her there. If you don't have a hideout yet, you will need to acquire one. You can do this by completing a quest to defeat one of the bosses inhabiting an island in Act 4, allowing you then to take a slice of it for yourself, making it your new home and base of operations. Once invited to your hideout, she will now serve as operating your currency exchange, but also serve as the figurehead in your new trading empire. So, how does this new system work? In the existing trade system, you would list items for sale in premium stash tabs.
Yep.
And then when someone wanted one, you'd have to take it out for yourself and trade it to them. Now, instead of using those...
Think about how much of mapping per hour goes up for the map blasters. Like, think about how many times you have to go out and take an item out. Everyone's efficiency in Trade League increases by an amount that's, like, it's a decent amount.
You can give your items to Ange so she can sell them for you. Each item must have a price set.
Result, greater.
The prices are set using in-game currency items, such as Exalted Orbs or Chaos Orbs. Once a price is set, other players will be able to find the item by searching for it on the trade website.
So trade website, search, secure item. Wait, what? Is it in the same secure item? Is it not a special part of the website? Just, I guess it's just a mock demo, maybe?
Once a desired item has been found, you can hit a button, which will instantly teleport...
You know what I thought about? I was thinking about this during the live stream, but I don't want to yap like mid live stream. Was like, what happens if like you are in a boss fight and you press like alt tab, teleport, boom. You got like you can get like a boom. It's like a logout macro, bro. Get it, boom, insta TP out. It's or if you're lagging out, right? Teleport. I'm guessing they're gonna have a restriction that you have to be in like a town or a hideout for it to work. I'm guessing.
Your character in-game to their hideout. Then, you can immediately purchase the item. And while there, if you want, browse their other goods. In case there's a good deal someone else hasn't yet discovered. You'll notice that as a buyer, on top of the currency the seller set for the price, it also costs gold to purchase an item, as Ange has bills to pay after all. As a seller, you'll immediately receive a notification when an item of yours is sold.
The buyer only has
and
to pay
can
the
also see an effect above Ange in your hideout when she has unclaimed currency. Just go talk to her, claim your currency, and continue playing at your leisure.
He said, as a buyer, there's a gold cost. Both pay.
As many people already acquired premium stash tabs for the purpose of the trade system, we wanted to add a way for you to convert your existing tabs to merchants tabs, if you want. You can do that here, on the website, but only if you purchase those tabs before the release of the third edict. To clarify...
Before, okay. Bro, you think it could be one or the other? It could just be hybrid. You think it could be both? But I guess not.
The existing trade system will remain fully intact,
to win, bro.
So your premium stash tabs will not lose any of their functionality.
Pay to win, bro. Pay to win.
We just figured people might want to switch over to this new system.
Yeah, low-key pay to win, bro.
We expect a lot...
Okay, it's like a micro pay to win. It's like a little bit. It's a little bit of pay to win. A little bit. Yeah, you might sell an item a bit faster, and you can sell items when you're offline. But you have to pay gold. I mean, it's a little bit of pay to win. It's a little bit. It's always been a little bit pay to win. It's a little bit pay to win. It is a little bit, which I'm okay with. The game's free, bro.
A lot of feedback around this new system, and are looking forward to trying it out with you. As we are not able to test internally with an entire thriving economy...
Oh, you start with one tab. You start with one tab, do you? That's decent. That's decent.
There will certainly be some kinks to work out. Based on how the system goes, we will be adding it to Path of Exile 1 when ready, so any of the tabs you purchase will also be usable there later. Next up, we're going to be talking about our new supporter packs.
I don't really give a fuck about any of this. Okay. There we go. I got to pause a lot. I got to yap a lot. Overall, there's a lot of good shit in there, right? There's a lot of good shit in there. We didn't even get to the goddamn fucking patch notes. I thought I was going to get through that in like 2 seconds and get to the patch notes. Boom. I mean, bro, Molten Lob, Hollow Palm Monk, I must admit, this one just seemed broken, bro. Hollow Palm Monk, fucking Ghost Shroud's Deflection, bro. Woo, shoot. Yeah. Today was a day. Dude, I got gym. I gotta go to the gym, bro. This is about my last week of gym before PoE comes out, so, you know. Shit, goddamn. What happened to the Obsidian for notes? Well, that's for gaming notes, bro. It's a different type of notes. Different type of notes, bro. You know what it is. Nice deep dive. Literally just rewatched the entire thing we saw yesterday. Good job. Well, if you didn't notice, so the duration of the video versus how much I yapped, I yapped for more than half of the time the video was playing. So the fact that you think, like, you dumb retard cunt, that was the same thing, here you go, I can ban you, cunt. Fuck off. Yeah, no, I yapped for more than the video actually played. Obviously, it was not the same. Whenever I watched it, I didn't pause it because it was a fucking live stream, so I couldn't yap over the video. Now I got to watch it again, and I got to discuss what I was thinking whenever I was watching the live stream, which was the point. It was torture. Well, I mean, either you enjoy it or you don't. And it allowed me to elucidate some of my own thoughts a little bit more. A little bit, think about, like, what I want to play, what I like, what I'm interested. I definitely like the idea of, the one I'm not looking at is, like, mages. Get out of here, mages. Fuck that. I'm looking at totems, monks, strength users. That's what I'm looking at. Okay? That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. Maybe, I'm thinking Totem Cuck's probably going to have the least fun gameplay. But, yeah. When are you going to film your workouts so we can watch and laugh at you? Bro, I could probably beat you in a fight, homie. Let's not get it twisted. You are weak, kid. Go back to the Flavelas. Okay, homie? Overcome. No, I would beat the majority of chatters in a fight, but no, there would definitely be like 30% of you guys that probably beat the shit out of me. Let's be real. It's probably like 30% of you guys would beat the fuck out of me. Maybe. I mean, maybe, I don't know, 30's probably a bit high. 30's probably a bit high. It's probably like 10. It's probably like 10%. But, yeah. I think the patch note situation, honestly, I think what I'm going to do is say fuck the patch notes. I think I'm going to say fuck the patch notes. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for the PoE 2 to come out. When I say PoE 2, I mean, I'm going to wait for this update to come out. Oh, wait, update already. Look at this. Uh-oh, I'm getting hacked? What is this? Bro, what the fuck is this? It seems about the same. I'm just gonna wait for this update to come out. The guy that runs PoB says he hates PoE 2. He says he hates PoE 2. Yeah, well, you don't know. Yeah, he could change his mind. Is this new? No. Oh, dude, I forgot about this guy. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. I am going to, yeah, I'm just going to say fuck the patch notes. And, oh, maybe I don't say fuck the patch notes. Maybe I don't. Maybe I do read them. I don't know. I definitely want to do some level of preparation for PoE 2. Regardless, I definitely think just seeing it in the format of just looking at the tree and just, if there's like one of those websites which just highlights what's changed with the red circle, and then I just look at the red circles versus like reading fucking like patch notes for like 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Don't play, dude. Last epoch tomorrow. Okay, last epoch tomorrow, boys. Get your post hands ready for that. I will likely be back to do a little bit of coding later on today, but it won't be long because it's my daughter's birthday party tomorrow. And Abby needs me to help clean up, and I've been doing too much. I've been like streaming, then doing another stream. I've been spending too much time doing streaming. I need to like take a little break, especially considering PoE 2 is coming out in like a week. So I need to try. I need to do some dad. I need to do some dad gaming. You know what I'm saying? Clean up, but yeah. 2 streams with the gym in between. I'm gonna skip gym for PoE. I'm gonna skip. Yeah, I'm gonna skip gym. For PoE 2 launch. Regardless, until next time, boys. Peace the fuck out. Have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one, boys. Or maybe see you later on tonight for a little bit. Cheers, brothers. Have a good one. Does anyone know why it's so quiet? Does anyone know what's going on there? Was it? Beating the game. You should have beaten the game, mate. Theoretically, I should have beaten the game. How much worse than average
Average gamer
game?
69. He dies again, but it's fine. Don't worry, he loses by design.
Bitch!
Average Gamer 69. He dies again, but it's fine. And now, let's hear his porn acting live.
Oh, just fuck my ass.
Average Gamer 69. He dies again, but it's fine. Don't worry, he loses by design.
I don't know how to do
He dies again. Chat knows what's gonna happen and pours the wine. He almost eating his mic, so it's time.
Are you dumb? I'm immune to physical damage! What the fuck do I need fucking endurance charges for if I'm immune to fucking physical damage? You're so bad at this fucking game! The shock is literally 0%!
Holy fuck, the wiki is bad. The wiki's bad. I should have beaten the game by now. Theoretically, I should have beaten the game. How am I worse than an average gamer? I should have beaten the game by now. Theoretically, I should have beaten the game. How am I worse than an average gamer?
Average Gamer 69. He dies again, but it's fine. Don't worry, he loses by design.
You fucking idiot!
Average Gamer 69. He dies again, but it's fine. And now, let's hear his porn acting live.
Clap that ass, boy!
Average Gamer 69. He dies again, but it's fine. Don't worry, he loses by design. He dies again. Chat knows what's gonna happen and pours the wine. He almost eating his mic, so it's time.
Twitch chat's like, Treehead, I don't know how to do math. I'm a fucking treehead. Look at me, I'm a fucking treehead. This is about fucking Twitch chat.